should be live, so this would be a good chance for you to check one of the streams and see how you...
Sure, I'll check it on Twitch. See how it sounds. Ooh. Alright, so say something and I'll respond.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Say something and I'll respond. It's weird because I'm listening to myself on the thing. It's going to be a gap. Not a real good time. It's kind of, it fucks with my head. It's weird. On the thing. There's an echo.
Alright, that means one of my streams actually has audio. That's why I need to check.
It's weird. There's an echo. And one of them that I'm coming through, I don't hear you, is like real clear.
Okay, I just muted my Twitch one. That apparently
Alright.
is still giving some audio. My YouTube has no audio on, and my mixer has no audio on as well. Can you hear me through the stream?
I hear you, yeah.
And do I sound close to you or louder than you?
You sound farther away, and I sound really, like, close. Like yeah, I sound really close and clear. You sound a little farther away, or your volume's a little low.
Okay, let me well, my mic is maxed out. It might be where my mic is. Let's see if I move it over here, kind of up higher. How do I sound now? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm listening to it.
How do I sound?
Yeah, the gaps are weird because I'm trying to like listen to myself. This is so.
Yeah, I'm listening to it.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe
Brian
you should
is in the chat.
bring my levels down a little bit.
Let's have Brian.
There we go. Yeah,
Brian, why don't?
so much better.
Yeah, rather than have Bill try to listen, Brian, barely hear me, huh? That's really odd. Let me make sure that I'm on the right mic. Properties. Samsung Meteor mic. Okay. Because I really don't want to have to like be loud if I don't have to.
Right, but you're pretty low.
Yeah, but I don't want to be screaming in your ear in the headset.
Would you be? Would it affect how I hear you?
Well, yeah, because I'd be like talking like this to try to make sure that my microphone is picking it up. It could be my air conditioner. My microphone may actually be lowering all the volume because of my air conditioner.
To filter out the noise.
Let me turn my air conditioner off and see what happens.
Yeah. Derek also said he might want to join. I was talking to him earlier today. They said it was we'll be hanging out with you playing video games. He said let him know.
Because it's also not supposed to be that hot out tonight. It's only supposed to get to like 65. So let's see if this helped.
Right.
And then if so, maybe I'll move the microphone a little bit closer. Okay, Brian, I've just moved the microphone a little bit closer. How does that sound? Testing, 1, 2, 28 million.
Yeah. And me.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, I don't want any of that chat on. No, chat away. I don't want any of that chat. Oh my God. Like, how do I get rid of this chat?
I don't even know. What is the chat through one of the apps?
No, it's the chat through the game. I don't want to see it. Okay. All right, Brian, how do I sound now? And then what do I have? Is it Control F3? Is that how the boom works? Let me look. Streaming. Where is boom? Let me make sure that is at the top. Okay. Do I still sound low, Brian? I need to pop that up. You still barely hear me, but Bill is crystal clear. Why is that? Why must you be like this, OBS, right now? Why? Why are you messing with me? So if I do this, now I'm too loud because I've lifted the microphone up right next to my mouth.
I mean, you don't sound that bad to me.
Well, yeah, because I'm talking about the microphone for my OBS. Okay. Man, that's really odd. Oh, okay, left trigger gets rid of it. You can even hear Bill clicking.
Really?
That's what he says, yeah.
Oh. Wasn't even clicking on anything. I'm like looking at Warframes. Redeem in browser. What is this? Can we tell I haven't played this for Twitch Prime? Get the exclusive Specata Lisset skin and a reusable color palette for free from now until August 12th. Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about before?
Yeah, that's the Twitch thing. Yet. Pretty groovy.
Okay, alright. Your account is already linked with Twitch. Okay, that's great. That's great, okay. So, did I link it? Oh, claim your free loot. I don't need to try Twitch Prime. You know what? I'm not going to do that on stream. I'll do that later because I'm not showing my Twitch password.
Good point. Good point.
Let's see what the Lotus has.
Don't do that.
I apparently have a Fomorian Disruptor blueprint. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that event just ended though, but you'll need that for later.
Okay.
You have to attack this giant. I think his name is like the Fomorian or something. But he's got this massive ship you have to attack. It's pretty fucking cool actually, but and it's easy. And you get a lot of money.
Oh, there was actually something today on my birthday. It's my birthday, and I'll stream if I want to. Stream if I want to. Stream if I want to. You would stream too if it happened to you. All right,
It's
so
true.
I don't know why it's not letting me be louder than it says it should. You know what? Let me try doing something. Okay, test 1, 2, 75. Brian is still there.
Don't touch my penis.
I'll touch your penis.
Touch my penis.
I'll touch it. Touch it hard.
Touch it.
Touch it hard. Or touch it to make it hard, one or the other. Okay, well, hopefully the sound will come through somewhat decent. I did turn off my air conditioner. It's only supposed to get to like 60 something tonight, so it's not like it's fucking, you know,
Right, they'll be suffering.
Right. So anyway, welcome to BNS Gaming episode 15. We are actually doing it slightly different this time. We are actually going to be playing some games while we do it. I don't even know what fucking Warframe I'm in, dude.
I have so many.
I don't. So the first topic I wanted to mention was there's a new oh, I'm burping a little bit. I did have some beers. It's my birthday, by the way. It is Sam's birthday, and it's also my friend's daughter's birthday, and she turned 21. So we went out to a bar, just, you know, have a couple drinks, do that. God, she's fucking 21 already, dude. Is that crazy?
Yeah. Time does not stop for anyone.
Apparently not. It's what
I mean, you know him better than I do, so I mean, you probably remember, like, probably when he's like, "Oh fuck, I got my girlfriend pregnant," and probably the whole thing.
No, he
like,
was never actually like that.
I don't
like
remember.
they never seemed to really get all upset that they got pregnant. Like they didn't get married until the kids were a little bit older. Like I think Sage was 7 and Haley was 1 when they got married. 1 or 2.
Okay.
But it's still kind of weird to be like, wow, she's 21. That's crazy. That's like when my youngest cousin turned 21. I was like, what? No, she can't be 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just the way the time goes by.
Yeah,
man.
so we went out just to this little bar up where, you know where ShopRite used to be on Evergreen?
Yeah, sure.
So there's a bar up in one of those stores now. And we were up there. It was actually funny because one of the bartenders was named Samantha.
Oh.
So every time Chrissy, who is Sage's mother, her sister would say, "Hey, Sam," to get the bartender's attention, I'd look over and I'm like, that's going to fuck me up all night. God. So, apparently I am in Oberon. What? I don't even know which other ones I have. I have a Trinity Prime. I guess that's the only other one I had. No, I have Frost Prime, a Necros, which is level 18.
I was just saying, I thought you had Necros.
I do, but my Oberon is almost level 30, so I might stay on him. Wow, this is so weird. They added like a cursor. It's like, why is this going Destiny on me?
Yeah, it's definitely like you can also use your directional pad. It actually gets to things quicker. Like it'll just intelligently like zip over to areas. I kind of do like it a little bit, but it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so I'm using Dex Cybaris at level 28. And I have an AK Stiletto. Let's see if I have anything that still needs to be leveled up. How about a Magnus? I'll do that. That needs leveling up. Okay, so there we go. All right. So I guess the first order of business that we wanted to discuss is there is a new high kill count in Fortnite. And it was actually, I thought it was really funny when I watched it. Apparently, to the people that he did it to, they were not too happy. But I missed it in Fortnite. There was apparently an event with a rocket. And
Yeah, I missed that too. I was away for the weekend. Every weekend in the last month I was away. This is the first weekend I've been home in a month. So I missed that rocket
and
thing.
it was apparently was a one-time only thing.
Yeah.
Wh-
Yeah, so they've been doing these timed events, which is pretty cool, but if you can't catch it, then you're ass out.
Right. So, let's see. Friends, I'm doing this real quick. There you are. No, I want to. It says you're in the menus. Talk profile
It says I'm in the menus.
of Warframe. I don't know.
Well, I'm just on my ship. I'm on my
So
ship.
am I. I'll let you invite me because you remember how to do this better. So anyway, about 48 people, I should say not about, exactly 48 people. They didn't kill each other, and they were in a solo game, but they built this huge ramp up into the sky with like a platform. And Northeastern invited you to a game, so I hit that. And is it under this? No, what is it under?
Probably just need to hit your menu button,
Yeah, I did.
I believe. Oh.
Wow, it has been so long since I played this game. But anyway, so there were 48 people. They're up really high in the air to watch it, and they're all dancing and everything. And this dude, he just breaks their ramp down and kills all 48 of them. And he's got a lot of hate for it, but he did not break the rules of the game. And I found it kind of funny.
No, I didn't.
I found it kind of funny, personally.
It's pretty freaking hilarious.
And
it's funny,
yeah, it is.
Right? Like it's a sorry.
Well,
yeah,
what was also funny was he didn't even win the game. He got 48 kills at once, and then he died 5 seconds later. Somebody killed him, so he had still ended up at 51st. But he now has the highest kill count in the game and the highest number of kills at once in the game. But he got hate for it. Like, people were bitching at him on Twitter and all sorts of places.
Just so stupid. You know, look, it's a shooter. And it created for a great moment. I watched the video, so you've got this giant ramp, and then everyone just drops to their death. So he gets the highest kill count. Nobody will probably ever repeat that unless, 100 people somehow manage to get together and randomly organize something like that. But that even to have been a part of that, like if I was there and I'm on the ramp doing whatever celebration and I'm a part of that moment, that's a memorable moment. I mean, that's kind of what gaming is about, is creating these events, right? These emergent events that, okay, maybe you die, but you're going to die every fucking game you play, right? It reminds me of years ago on World of Warcraft when somebody had, and you know exactly what I'm talking, if you don't, you are in a second, people had organized a funeral for a World of Warcraft player who had died in real life. So it was very unfortunate. They wanted to commemorate this person, but they decided to hold a funeral with this large procession. They did this elaborate thing. They recorded it, but they did it in a PvP server. So what happened? And I remember watching the video, and it goes, and it was whoever had arranged it. They had put together a YouTube video where it was cutting back and forth between the procession and they're playing the sad music, and then we'll cut over to the raiding party and they're playing a Misfits song. What song was it? What's it doing? I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. God. You better think about it, baby. Whatever that one is. God damn it, why am I drawing a blank on that? Anyway, so he records it, and they all converge, and finally they get to where they're having the funeral procession, and they just fucking slaughter everybody. And people were pissed. They're saying, we're trying to have this special moment, and Where Eagles Dare is the name of the song. And, it's like, okay, listen, you had a thing, and you had an intention, and then some other thing happened, right? Like, that's gaming. That's virtual reality. That's cyberspace. That's like, you can't control this shit.
And you were in a PvP area.
These...
You were in a PvP area. You knew it could happen. And this, like, the whole server knew that this was happening. So,
yeah.
And they were Horde, and it was a bunch of Alliance players that went and killed them, if I remember right. But at the same time, it's like you could have got the rest of the Horde server to protect you.
Yeah, so I just don't... The furor over, that is silly to me.
Right.
Have fun.
And I mean, I laughed at the funeral thing. Like, not at the guy dying. I didn't laugh at the guy dying. But I laughed at the fact that, look, you could have done this on a PvE server and been fine.
Yeah.
But they decided to hold the funeral in, like, his favorite zone, I think it was. That was the whole thing. And it just happened to be a PvP zone. Hi, Brian.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so what's going on with the voice? Like, for some reason, you can barely hear me in the stream.
What's that?
Like, you're saying you can barely hear me in the stream?
I'm watching on YouTube, and it just sounds like you're far away from the mic.
That's really weird. I'm like 6 inches from the mic. And if I do this now, see, but
like when you were moving it around, you got really loud, and then you got like to your normal level, but then it dropped again.
Okay.
So whatever intermediate position you had was working.
Yeah, well, the problem was that one intermediate position was like me holding the microphone, which makes it very hard, obviously, to game. So we'll try this. I just have a little thing I can stand it on real quick, and we'll see how that sounds.
Well, maybe like if you have any duct tape, you can duct tape it to your forehead.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Duct tape.
Like, it's totally hands-free at that point.
You are right. It is totally hands-free at that point. So, that was...
The man speaks no lies.
It's true. It's true. He is speaking only the truth. It makes me wish I just had, like, a mic stand that I could put this, like, just put it up right in front of my mouth. But I don't right now, so I have to deal. And then I guess, Bill, you had the second thing that we wanted to speak about, which was the Cyberpunk 2077 audio leak.
Yeah, well, we didn't really get much into you talked about the thing blowing up in Fortnite. We didn't talk about the chick getting fired from ArenaNet.
Yeah, no, I figured that'll be the last topic, because that's, like, the long one.
I want to do that last.
That's the long one.
Yeah, so I can't remember his name. I subscribe to Young, and so he's got some interesting stuff on there. I don't like his when he signs out.
Young,
do a little, like, okay, Ryan Seacrest, let's calm down. But because it's it reminds me of so I think that good. In this day and age, with nonstop bitching justified about developers doing shitty things, trying to exploiting certain gambling mechanics, or at least things that are, quote unquote, not gambling. My point is, we really need to be able to, like, celebrate and support developers who are doing right by gamers, which are fewer and far between these days. So when you have a guy, I don't know the guy's name. I remember the guy's name. But he was
he runs
he went out and he said that
.net, I think,
which I had never heard of until I saw the video.
Right.
I'd never even heard of it. Have you?
Once or twice, but not anything major.
All right. So I'll get to it. So the point is, he went and during the big E3 Cyberpunk thing, I guess guys got to go in and play, and he recorded with his phone audio from the game. And in the beginning of the audio, even one of the reps from CD Projekt Red said, "Please don't video recording." He says video, and maybe something else, like no video recording or pictures. And so this guy takes that to mean, oh, well, you didn't explicitly say audio, so I'm going to take audio of this. obviously the spirit of the thing is CD Projekt Red didn't want any leaks of any kind. And if you want to support a developer who's trying to do good, try to build a great game that's true to the source material and that the players will love, you kind of don't want to fuck with that. Like you just don't want to be a dick. And he was a dick. And just watching his video, there's a couple of things. First of all, he plays the victim.
Yep.
Right. Yep. He says CD Projekt Red, never specified, and then he talks about how he's got this 16-year relationship with one of the reps there, and I'm thinking, wow, you're a really shitty friend then. 15, I've known you longer than that, but if you worked at a company and I did that, I think you'd be kind of pissed off at me.
Oh yeah.
You'd be like, dude, seriously, the fuck?
Right. Like I place my trust in you.
I'm like, well, you didn't specifically say audio.
Right. I place my trust in you, and you're gonna break my trust that way.
Right. So. There's a couple things I thought was really funny. Was first that he says, and that's kind of it. So he spends, it's like, I watched segments of it, but I think he probably went on for like a half an hour on this diatribe about, not his fault. But one of the early things he says is, and I immediately thought, oh, this guy's a total douchebag, because he says, I'm not, it's not for me to say I'm a journalist. That's for other people to say. Then he goes on to say, but I'm trained as a journalist, and then pretty much defines himself as a journalist, just not calling himself that. And this is just a nitpick that I have. What are you doing saying that I'm not a journalist? That's for other people to say. No, that's actually a profession. You can do that. I'm a software developer. I'm a software engineer. I can say that because that's actually what I fucking do professionally for a living. If you do a thing professionally for a living, you are that thing. I don't know what mentality he has where he's saying, that's for other people to say. No, that's like something you say if you think you're good looking, but you don't want to come right out and say you're good looking. Like, people say I'm good looking. That's for other. You know what I mean? Like, you don't say, that's for, what the fuck is that shit? It's a ridiculous thing to say. But later on, one of the things that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit was, he says that CDPR calls him back and said, hey, we screwed up, we're partially to blame. And I'm thinking, nobody fucking said that. Like, this dude's got some sort of like weird Trump level mental distortion where he can't remember what the fuck is being said to him, or he just makes shit up pathologically. Nobody at fucking CD Projekt Red was like, oh, sorry, we screwed up. Unless they're saying like, oh, sorry, idiot. Sorry, we didn't specifically state you can't take audio too. Because he states that towards the end, he was the one who had foresight. He was the only one who had the foresight to record it, and other journalists are jealous because nobody else thought of it. And my immediate thought, and this is something that I was glad that Young Yap pointed out, was it's not that nobody thought of it. Probably everybody thought the same thing. Oh, right, no audio is included. They didn't specifically state it, but it's probably implied. Like, let's not record anything. Let's just take our notes, of our impressions, and write down the actual text. So, and I just sort of feel like, and he goes on and on and on about how journalism is dying, and he's like the last of a dying breed. Those are my words, not his. But that's kind of the spirit of what he's saying, is that modern journalism today is a bunch of shills. And I'm thinking, yeah, perhaps journalism has changed. Perhaps the relationship between developer and game journalist is different now. Where instead of, going and fucking people over to break a story, now in more tightly controlled environments, especially when so much money is at stake with these, these high-end development, what do you want to call them, like development houses, game companies, houses, studios, thank you. Maybe the relationship has to change because there's more at stake now, and I kind of, honestly, it's not necessarily like journalists and game devs are working together to deceive the public. It's just with a 24-hour news cycle and social media, it's just a different environment now. And so maybe that relationship should be better curated, as opposed to assholes who just go in and break the trust of people who say, don't record anything. And so that was it. It just kind of bugged me, and I sort of feel like I'm kind of glad that, I'm kind of glad he got a lot of backlash. Yeah. He seemed to be singling out a couple people, but he wouldn't name anybody by name. What are your thoughts on that?
So, my thoughts.
I mean, the whole thing.
See, now I don't necessarily think he was wrong for recording the audio, but releasing it, yes. Recording it, you could do stuff with that, like saying, and here's where we hear like some of the dialogue choices, and you can like mention like some of the things that maybe were being
Well, sure,
said.
he can go back to use that to transcribe
Exactly.
stuff.
Exactly.
Like, you know.
The actual recording, I'm not upset with, because it could have been used in a different way. Releasing it,
Right.
that's a different story, because then, yes, you are breaking the trust of a company that didn't make you sign an NDA, which a lot of them might have. Okay? But then his other problem was that after the thing got copyright striked and taken down by CD Projekt Red, is other people had already downloaded it from YouTube and were putting it up on other sites. And then other game sites were talking about it, but they weren't giving him credit. And that's what he was upset about. Is that he didn't get the credit.
Which is really telling.
Yes. So like I said, the actual recording of the audio, if used in the correct way, I wouldn't think was that bad. Like if I had done it, I would have been like, okay, so, and here we get to a point and V, which is the name of your character, says this. You know, like, but you just say that. And even if it was in a video, I would just repeat what V said myself. You know what I mean? Because then people would think you took notes
you're just,
or
again,
whatever.
you're just writing down what you heard.
So, hi Zelda. Or was that Dobby?
Yeah, it was Zelda over there making noises.
That I would be fine with. But like I said, the releasing of it with a studio that, you know, kind of like Epic, has been nothing but gracious to players over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't fuck us over with The Witcher 3. They gave a lot of cool free DLC. They gave a good paid DLCs, 2 of them. You know, which each were what, like 10 hours each? And they weren't that expensive.
Yeah, they were proper expansions, basically.
And they weren't that expensive. Like, they were not trying to fuck over the player. They're not EA. They're not Activision. Okay? I wouldn't want to break that trust. But like I said, if I had recorded it, I would have just done it in a different way and been like, okay, so V says this, and then maybe, you know, you hear a character saying this, but you don't use the actual audio. You either say it or you put it in your written thing. Where CD Projekt Red probably wouldn't have been upset about that. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all. I mean, I think that was the expectation. At one point, he says, you know, I had my phone. They saw that I was recording, and they didn't have a problem with it. They knew that I was doing that. So of course, they probably expect journalists to kind of take notes and record audio so they can refer back to them as they're writing their story. But, you know, again, that's why he's playing stupid, and it's really kind of it's annoying.
Yeah.
And, you know, and like you mentioned, you've got like CD Projekt Red, you've got Epic, and you've got, you know, we're kind of playing Warframe here. You've got Digital Extremes. There's only a handful of developers who really care about what the community wants.
Yes.
And when you go in and you kind of fuck them like that, and you know, I'm sure that CD Projekt Red doesn't look at this one journalist and sort of, you know, say, oh, well, now we're going to punish the broader community. It's got nothing to do with that. But the thing is, you know, then you make them more tight-lipped, you make them more cynical, you know, and that's just not what you want. That's not a way to show respect for a beloved game developer.
Right. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, my problem with him is that he was complaining that they didn't get any money for it and that they didn't get the credit for it. That's my main issue. And his attitude. His attitude was just shit. I mean, there was another guy that did a video on it about a week before Yang Yi did. And he basically played their whole thing and then would like stop and like talk about it. And it was another like half-hour video or something like that. And they were doing like on their podcast. And I was like, wow. Like, you've got an ego and a half, dude. To think that people... to think that you deserve these sorts of like these sorts of credits when you went around about it in the wrong way entirely. If you had gone about it in the correct way, which like I said would be just referring back to it. You don't word for word everything. You just take snippets of what you think people would be most interested in and use that.
Right.
That would be a way, and people would credit you fine. There would be like no problem saying, hey, what's this fuckface over at sifted.net or whatever had this to say, and this is what we heard as well, because the other journalists were in at different times. And God, I wish I was actually there to watch that. Like, it was like a 45 to 50 minute demo, dude. Oh, could you imagine how awesome it could have been if we were there?
Oh, that'd been so much fun. Oh man, I mean, I'm so excited for the game, and it's kind of a, I'm excited for it, of course. It's just kind of a bummer we have to wait so long for it to come out. But
Brian, I think you're echoing. I don't know. Brian says we both sound pretty good. But now he's echoing through his. All right, I'm gonna have. I don't know if Brian's at the. Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, your Connect. Your Connect is playing everything.
Your Connect is playing everything.
How about now?
Let me hear.
Yeah,
no, I can still hear myself through you.
Okay, I'm going to do you guys a favor and drop out.
Okay, yeah, just stay in the stream then. Yeah, so...
Are you, I know you're kind of futzing with your audio gear. Are you ready to go into a survival, or are you still trying to work out some audio things?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, Brian, I'm going to remove you from... Oh, there he goes. He left. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, start something, and I'll just hit accept. There we go.
All right.
Haven't played this in a long time, so expect me to suck.
No, that's fine. Listen, it's PvE. It's a low-level survival. You know how to aim at things and shoot them.
It's not a problem, Brian. It was just something that, it would have gotten annoying after a while, definitely. Yeah, so, I mean, those are my thoughts on it. Like, he could have done it in a much better way that wouldn't have pissed anybody off.
Yeah, and I mean, the backlash he's getting is deserved, right? This isn't like a Gersman Gate thing where a journalist is trying to do the right thing, and this is somebody who's calling themselves a journalist. I love how he keeps emphasizing, "I've been trained as a journalist," and I'm like, shut up, dude, just shut up. I love that was one of the things that stood out to me, like, what a douche. Like, he's like, I'm not a journalist. I'll let somebody else call me a journalist, but I'm trained as a journalist for 20 years or 15 years. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you say, pal.
Right, yeah, it's
fucking weirdo.
It's just one of those things, again. There were different ways to go about it, and he just went about it the complete wrong way.
They're trying to choke you out. Hold on.
Yeah.
I've got some affinity over here where I was.
The first life support capsule has arrived. Activate it when your supply is low.
Okay, get 30 kills.
Anyway, I kind of, I sort of wonder if he didn't work for a different company, if he wouldn't have lost his job.
I think if he worked for one of the bigger companies, he definitely would have. I definitely think he would have, because that would be enough if you were at a bigger company to...
There's companies now will just let you go for bad publicity.
Yeah, well, not even
gonna
just
lose
that.
Our next...
Yeah, that'll be on our next thing too. But that's also something that's enough to get a site blacklisted, like a journalism outlet blacklisted from being able to work with the company.
Life support incoming.
And I wouldn't blame him. I just think that, you kind of have to respect the source. Again, that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm coming from. I think that, these companies work really hard, and it's tough to keep a lid on stuff, especially when you want to surprise the audience, and you go and you do something like that. You're just a dick.
Yes. Sorry, I think one of my my enemies has shown up.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
That's fine.
Because we all of a sudden have very, very high level people, elites here. Yeah, alright, so, yeah, I guess that's really about all we need to know about for that subject.
Yeah, I think we've covered it. You know, I just think that he's a dick.
Yeah. Like,
That's
don't
it.
be a dickhead. If you're gonna do stuff like that, do it in the right way and nobody will care. And that's really it. Like, there's different ways to go about it. Oh god, I can't remember how to fucking melee.
B.
What's up, Thursday?
What up? Middle of recording a show here, just so you know.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna be quiet, or
well, yeah, as long as we can't hear you through everything, unless maybe when we're talking about something, you might have something to say that'll be interesting, and you want to chime in. That would.
Yeah, you're
that would
welcome
be
to
cool.
chime in.
It's just, yeah.
Okay.
Use it. You don't sound like you're using your Kinect, so that should be pretty good.
no, I hate that. That thing is annoying. And plus, my audio isn't included, so.
Oh no, it is because I'm going through my PC.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you go to your PC. I have to wait for a minute for Trinity Prime to go through.
All right, so I guess our next topic would be the whole ArenaNet thing that's been going on. God, I don't even remember what fucking powers I have on this thing.
We're trying to figure out.
Like the powers I have on this thing. So, on July 4th, really, seriously? On July 4th, there was something that went on. There was a Reddit AMA, I guess. And
No, it's just on Twitter.
Well, it started
was
out
just
on
Twitter,
Reddit,
and
yeah.
I knew it was just she had written this long, like, Twitter sort of.
Screed.
It wasn't even a rant. It was just a sort of like little essay on writing character development or something.
Yeah,
That's what I understood.
yeah,
it to be.
it had started on an AMA on Reddit for
Okay.
the Guild
All right.
Wars 2 subreddit. There we go. You're dead. That's you.
Which is a game I'm very fond of.
I've actually never played Guild Wars 2.
I've put some hours into that game.
So you might have a better idea of it than me, than what goes on. Like, I know what Guild Wars is, and I know,
It's a great MMO. Really fun.
okay. And so she was a narrative designer for ArenaNet, which is the makers of Guild War 2.
Extraction is available.
Yep.
And
if
then
you need it.
Brian is typing in the chat,
Operative
but
has just made their first
but
discovery.
I can't. I'll look at it in a minute, Brian, when we're not fighting. And one of the people on Twitter asked her, mentioned something, like gave some criticism, I would say.
He said she had written, so I mean, here's how I know it, because I saw, so she wrote a very long, like, Twitter thing. She was going on and on. Maybe it started on Reddit, but where this event happened was on Twitter. And so a guy on Twitter responds to her, like, 20, Twitter thread little thing. He's like, great read, very complimentary, like, oh, that was great, that's very interesting. And then he just goes on to, like, offer some, like, insights. I respectfully or slightly disagree, and he's, she posts it publicly, so he's like, oh yeah, let's have a conversation about it, right? Because he's clearly somebody who's interested in this subject, so he wanted to talk about it with her, being a professional. Well, she basically accuses him of mansplaining, and then goes on this whole, like, tirade against him.
Yeah, and it was weird because, like you said, he started out just being like,
And he was respectful.
yeah, he was just like,
He clearly wanted to engage about the subject. Like, he's passionate about the subject. He just wanted to talk about it in a mature capacity.
right.
and she was all out of maturity.
Yeah, and I believe her first response was something like, what was it? It was something like, I've been working on this sort of stuff for 10 years. Don't try to tell me how to do my job.
Right. She's and another episode of female game dev, and he's like, so she says this. She kind of has this really like snarky, shitty response, and he's like, "You're mad at me? I was just trying to have a conversation."
Right.
And
he even bowed out, like he apologized,
yeah.
which I don't think he should have had to, personally.
Yeah. No, but he was just being, because clearly he was a nice guy, and that was what he just was like, well, I thought I was going to have a cool conversation, but I guess not. Sorry.
Yeah. And so she then quote tweets him because she figured people wouldn't have seen it in her thread necessarily.
Additional life support has arrived.
Right.
Which is on Twitter, when you have 10,000 followers or more on Twitter, you're basically trying to call your followers out to attack this person.
Yeah.
It's a tactic that people on the left, on the right, people, feminists, non-feminists, they all do it.
Yeah.
And
it's sort of it's almost kind of a way of shaming almost.
Yeah. And after she did it, some other people had said something, and she was like, thanks for your input, now kindly fuck off. And she was trying to say how...
a lot of people, you get the impression people were shocked. They were like, whoa, what the fuck? That
much worse than intended.
That degraded quickly.
That escalated
yeah, like,
quickly.
wait, he was just trying to have a conversation. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, it's my brain capacity when I'm trying to blow up things is diminished. Right, so it was very clear that the guy was respectful and just trying to have a conversation, and she goes from 0 to 60 in no time flat, and and then like some people come to the guy's defense, and he's actually here's the other thing. The guy who said it was actually a I guess like an official community member. Like they have like. He was a YouTuber and somebody who was recognized by ArenaNet as an official community member.
He's an official partner.
Yeah, yeah.
And he even has, there's an NPC named after him in the game. Okay,
right.
So I don't know where that NPC is or whatever. Don't ask me. Because
he's not some troll. He's probably in some town. It's in an MMO, so it's probably just like towns. There's people in it.
Right.
So he was somebody who was known to developers, and it's just not good PR. But more than that, people came to his defense. They're like, "Oh, wait a minute, he was just trying to have a conversation." And one other developer for ArenaNet got in there and said, "But what you need to do is ask yourself why he felt the need to say that." And
because she was
again, the thing is, like, well, maybe because right, and that's the sort of thing. She posted it publicly. He clearly is invested in the game and saw an opportunity to engage with one of the developers about a topic he was interested in. I mean, that's me just paraphrasing a bunch of stuff, but that clearly is the gist. People weren't confused about why he spoke up, and it had nothing to do with her being a woman and him being a guy and mansplaining. Right. It was that he thought he shared a mutual interest with this developer about the subject, and she fucking bit his head off, and everyone was sort of like, well, whoa, what the fuck? But she doesn't stop there. Because then she goes on to go on a tirade, and people were like, "Oh, why do you have to bring sex into it? This has got nothing to do with sexism." And she kind of denies it in one of the posts, but then goes on to say that
this is something that female developers.
This is my private Twitter feed. I'm off.
No, the other guy is the one.
Right, but she's saying I'm off the clock. Right. Well, yeah, and then I think she says I'm off the clock, and I don't have to explain myself to a bunch of asshats. And it's like, all right, so we're going to keep on escalating this thing. And so, I will have food coming in a second. Okay. So I just want to be clear on that. I'll run out and grab it in a second. But yeah, so it was just really it was mean-spirited. And here's the thing. Let me just kind of go off on a bit of a side rant here. If you're the kind of person, Sam, she's one of your favorites. She's an SJW, obviously, looking at her Twitter feed. Now, listen, my problem is that SJWs, speaking for myself, we're sort of like, we're on the same side, but a different polarity. My thing is all bigotry of any kind is shit. So if the tack you take as an SJW is, feminists, or like, I'm a feminist, but I'm the kind of feminist who thinks that all men are evil, like your girl Anita Sarkeesian, who did eventually weigh in on the subject, then I have a problem with you because you are toxic, and I'm not into toxic people, I'm not into toxic behavior, and I'm not into mean-spirited attitudes. So that's kind of what she has. Everything, she's got a chip on her shoulder. She went looking for a fight where there wasn't one. It didn't need to be that way, and she didn't care because she has an agenda all the time, so which is her platform and her soapbox. And as soon as she could find a way to fit it in, a guy said something to her. So now she's pissed off because, it immediately becomes, it's not a conversation, it's just mansplaining.
Right.
And that's very frustrating to people who just want to, live their life and have conversations with strangers. Be like, oh, you said something cool, let me respond to that. No. It's now suddenly a fucking issue because, whatever. Whatever issue you want to make of it.
Definitely sounds like she's on her high horse and almost like she's too good to answer a question, even though you're kind of putting yourself out because you're doing it on Twitter. Regardless of the fact people are going to either chime in on their opinion, that's great. Everybody has an opinion. Doesn't mean that you have to bite the person's head off or completely destroy them in some shape or fashion.
Right, you could ignore it.
You could have just had...
If you didn't want to answer it, you could
You could have
it.
just said, can you please leave?
Yeah.
Right. And that was the point.
A different way.
You could have. And that was the point that ArenaNet was trying to make with it was, okay, so this person responded to you in a way that made you feel uncomfortable or made you feel infringed or put upon. There were so many other ways you could have handled that as a representative of the company talking about our game. It was her rant might be on her personal Twitter, but it was about the game, the company that she worked for. And, and I work for companies that even on your personal, even on my personal Facebook, if I say something untoward or racist or anything sexist, if I say something that is just outside of the company policy, I'll get fired, even if it's on my personal Twitter. And I think she knew that.
Yeah.
Right. And that
I think
brings
she's
up
playing stupid to
big
say
point here is the one dude who defended her, who also did get fired, by the way, and he was a 13 or 15 year
little rough
veteran of that company, so he really should have known better than to get involved.
I think firing him was... I even think firing her was slightly... they could have maybe pulled her aside, but we'll get into that in a second. But firing him was kind of like, wow, really? Shit.
But, when people mention, this is my private Twitter account, when your Twitter account is public and you are saying, I work for this company, you can't say... that you are on your private Twitter account. If you want your Twitter account to be private, then you set it to private so that only the people you want...
Right, because you don't own Twitter. You don't own Twitter, you don't own the server.
Wow.
Which leads me to wonder, so this is the point I was making a minute ago, which is, it leads me to wonder if there was no... they didn't pull her aside and say, listen, you can't go on tirades like that. And if you, to your point, Tim, they could say, and if you want to have a private Twitter where only your friends can see it, then you need to set that up. But you can't just go public, say things in public, and then get mad when the public responds. But they didn't do that. They didn't pull her aside, which makes me just wonder. I don't know her. But clearly she's somebody who is combative, that I wonder if maybe, she kind of already had some issues in the workplace.
She has had some issues
and
in the
so they're
past,
kind of like...
although I don't know with this employer. She did get fired from another RPG maker last year, and it was about her social media stuff, her very combative attitude. As far as I'm aware, it was the main reason for it.
Which I find really interesting.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact...
The constant same thing popping up?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, when ArenaNet was going to hire her, there were a lot of people in the Guild Wars 2 subreddit warning ArenaNet about hiring her. There really were.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. What were they
like
saying?
that she's toxic, that she's not gonna do your company any favors, at least publicly. She might be a decent writer, and she may be, for all I know. I don't play Guild Wars, so I don't know. But, like, her attitude is shit, basically, is what they were saying. Like, this is gonna come back and bite you in the ass. And it obviously did.
Right.
It's kind of like a Catch-22 or like Jekyll and Hyde almost. Like, you meet up, face to face, everything seems alright, and then once she got what she needed, in a sense, it kind of just went south. Now, this is just my opinion. Just kind of understanding what you guys are saying, and just kind of, in, I guess, a fresh eyes or understanding of how I'm interpreting it. That she got what she wanted, and then all of a sudden she turns violent in a sense, but...
Well,
yeah, like, she'll get aggressive. I think it's a matter of she just got comfortable. Like, she might obviously put her best face forward. You want to get a job. You don't kind of come out with your behavior. Everyone's always just very mindful of how they're behaving. I think once they get comfortable and they kind of fall back into their old habits.
Yeah. That's a definite possibility.
And here's the thing. So I was saying a minute ago, you can believe that there's not enough women in the workplace, or you can believe that in the game development community, the lack of women leads to a lot of men, treating them unfairly. And you might even have a point on some of that stuff. Certainly, women in tech are definitely underrepresented. So there's certainly a case to be made for that. But if your approach is to just come and be an asshole, you want to represent, kind of the points you're trying to make, but then you come and do it in the worst way possible. What really? I have to wonder, like, what does she think she's going to accomplish?
Exactly. And it becomes even weirder when you consider sites like, I guess we might as well say Polytaku, which is actually a fake site, but both Polygon and Kotaku have come to her defense, as well as BuzzFeed, and I think a couple others. Like, basically, they've taken...
Which I think is really funny that Polygon came to her defense. Not unexpected, but because Liana Kay said that she had written a story for Polygon some time back, and she was getting trolled, and they did not defend her.
Well, yeah, Liana is not on the...
Liana Kay is a popular YouTuber.
Yeah, but she's not on the up and up with, like, the SJW side of games journalism. She's actually... they actually don't like her very much.
Yeah, I mean, she was referring to that because I was watching her comments on this subject. I still think it's a particular kind of hypocrisy when you're going to talk about, you're protecting, you're going to side with Anita Sarkeesian on things. You're going to talk about, protecting
women and minorities. But then if women's
rights or minorities
go against what you're saying, you suddenly unperson them.
Right, and then you don't protect them.
Yeah.
Right.
And
it's a particular kind of hypocrisy that I find disgusting.
Yeah, you see that a lot on Twitter and some other places too. Like, if you have black people that don't follow the narrative, or don't follow, they're not Democrats or whatever, all of a sudden they're House N-word. You know what I mean? And you'll get it from other black people on Twitter. If you're a woman and you don't support modern feminism, suddenly you have internalized misogyny and you're not a real woman. And
right.
It's unpersoning people. It's othering them to give you the to make it all right that you're doing this to them, is really what it is.
Yeah.
That's just sad how it is nowadays, that it just falls
Yeah,
it is.
Our political climate, especially now, is like that, though. It's like you're either with us or against us. And it's like, I'm not a fucking Republican and I'm not a fucking Democrat. But to Republicans, I'll be too liberal. But to a lot of the more lefty Democrats, I'm a fucking Nazi, even though I'm Jewish. You know what I mean?
That's All right.
Well, it's true.
Makes
Look at
sense.
how many people get
I guess.
called Nazis nowadays for just not being, leftist enough. And you're like,
Dude, you could sneeze at somebody and still get the wrong look
yeah,
at you.
it's
Come
like,
on. Nowadays, everybody's all about feelings. You say one wrong thing, sneeze, drop a pebble on somebody. And legitimately, it's that bad that it will escalate into everything else. And, the funny thing is I actually look at half of the way the media is and everything, and it's kind of sad in ways that you're fighting for a cause, but yet you contradict yourself 7 different ways a Sunday and
in
go
your
back
next
on
breath.
everything you said,
Yeah,
but it's blatantly shown.
and it's in the next breath. It's not like it
showed
even
it right
took a
there.
while. It's like the next fucking breath. And it's weird with that. Like, our political climate is like that so much that it's going to make you wonder if anything's ever going to actually get done. Not even under Trump. We had this problem under Obama. We had this problem under Bush. Literally, I mean, Clinton was the last president
I feel like
that
things
didn't have that issue as much, except for like the whole.
I feel like the
Muslims.
country lost it. I think the country lost its collective shit after 9/11. I've been saying this for a while, and I just feel like there's this weird thing that happened to the psychology of America after 9/11, because during that time, then you had it was a tough time because in conjunction with that, America, we're suddenly we feel vulnerable as a nation. We also had the recession. There was a series of bad things that happened after that, so it's kind of like our psyche was damaged, and that's where it's put us now.
Yeah, I could see that.
But you also have to take it as, look at the way the kids are acting nowadays and how you can't even, you legitimately can't, as of everything going, if you go to the schools nowadays and everybody say that there's bullying, this, that, and everything else, and how everything's going. So parents aren't allowed to actually,
Discipline their children.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Like, discipline their children. So who's to blame here? Are we supposed to blame the kids? Are we supposed to blame the parents? The parents can't actually discipline them anymore. We can't really spank our children or kind of, put them in, because that's child abuse now. Anything you do to your child is child abuse. It kind of stems from, what is this world coming to, in a sense, that it's...
I'm not going to disagree
Yeah,
there, because I really do think, look, my parents, I used to get spanked. I used to get smacked if I did shit. And Bill, I think you did too. It's like, it didn't make us worse people because of it. But we definitely didn't grow up entitled, thinking that, everything that we want, we get. And...
That's another thing with
a lot of these kids nowadays.
But we also grew. I mean, I grew up.
Figured that.
I hesitate to say kids nowadays. I'm not old enough for that kind of language.
How old are you?
I'm 43. I'm 43. I don't. Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it. It's just that I think
I'm
that,
27.
Okay, I just think that
I'm way. Trust me. Even now, I'm classified as part of that next generation. I'm sorry, I don't classify myself as that. I think half
what you're not. You're
crap.
Did you say you're 23?
27.
27.
27. Oh, okay, yeah. Because
I think half of the crap that's going on nowadays, there needs a serious sit down to how half of everything is being ran. Needs a serious checkup. Everybody's bent hell on, oh, well, this person's in presidency, this person's in presidency. You know what? Just fuck it. Whoever's in president, let them be in president. If they don't do anything, vote them out the next year. Don't keep them in for another 4 years. Don't get mad about it. Just live with it. You can't stop it. Everybody voted somebody in for some apparent reason.
Yep.
Everything you say is gonna be posted. If you're going on the internet, there's always trolls. There's always somebody to deny you, say you're a lying piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. They're words. They're not going to kill you. If you let them get to you, well, you're going to explode on somebody. It's not going to be the right thing to do, and you're going to lose a lot. It's not...
Right.
It's... You have to play...
To make sure we stay on track with the subject, so getting back to the whose name I can't remember her name. But, so she lost her job. Yeah, Jessica Price. So she lost her job. And then the company said, listen... you know, we don't speak to our community that way. That's just not how a game development company
Should work.
Grows this community.
Right.
And that's true. You know, I was watching a documentary from Digital Extremes today about how they grew Warframe. And the reason Warframe, a free-to-play game, became very profitable for them, and actually it was like a Hail Mary. Like if Warframe didn't work for them, Digital Extremes would be no more.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of work for hire games, and this is the game that they wanted to make when it was way back in Dark Sector. But they listened to their community. Listening to your community is very important for multiple reasons, but because you can get valuable feedback, but also because they're the ones who are going to give you the money to play your fucking game. So they took it very seriously, ArenaNet, and they fired her because that's not how you address your community.
Right. And let's be clear.
So,
she called him an asshat. Basically said he was
she called
sexist.
the community an asshat. She didn't call him an asshat.
Well, yeah, all right.
She called the community, not him. What she did, though, was she said that when they fired her, she got no warning, and he was there when they
not the dude,
fired her.
The president of the company, the CEO.
Yeah, the president of the company, right. When they fired her, he was there, but he didn't have any reason to be there, other than the fact, he's the fucking president or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was really weird for her to say. But that he was a man who needed to make a woman sit there and listen to him rant, paraphrased. But I thought there's really weird language. Like, no, he's the president of the company, and you may have done some serious damage to the reputation of that company. Yep. What do you mean he had no right to be there? I'm just sort of like, that's crazy. What are you talking about? So then he kind of went, and I think he did a public mea culpa to the community, and that's when he said stuff like, listen, this is not how we talk to our community members, and this is why we let them go. And she then recently came back and said just a bunch of bullshit about shit. I don't remember what she said because it was today. Today was like, I read there's more of a development. She came back on the Twitter. I guess she had taken a self-imposed hiatus. Came back to speak her piece again about the president's reaction, and then said, I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to be around or whatever. So, I see you. So, and it's just I found it to be really interesting, and I just sort of feel like that kind of personality is just toxic. Let me duck out for a second. I gotta get my food.
And Bill's right. She has a very toxic personality. She seems to be what they call Darvoing everything too. It's not her fault at all in her mind that any of this has happened. It's not because she was an asshat and attacked a prominent member of the community. It's not because
life support incoming.
She fucked up. It's because of sexism, and it's because of her being a woman. Is the only reason that this has happened. Oh Jesus, we gotta get out of here too. Hopefully I get him up. Sorry, you know what? Doing this way is actually a lot harder than one would think.
It is. It is.
Another life support capsule.
All right, we should probably head off to the exit.
We will all
Yeah.
share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
Let me see where it is.
It's better yet, the easiest way to sum it up is straight up common sense that's been lost everywhere.
Yeah, and like I said, like people like to say, "Oh, this is my private Twitter account." Then make your Twitter account private, because if it is public, then anyone can see it. Anyone can retweet it. There's nothing private about that. And if you mention your employer in there are some employers that will watch what you say. Like my Twitter does not mention my employer at all. Okay?
That should keep you going for a
But
while.
even so, they could always look up my name, something like that. I have to worry about the potential that if I say something that, my bosses don't like, that I could get in trouble or fired over it. And that's just all you have to do.
That's every social media.
So if you want your social media, are we going the right? Am I going the right way? I have my party chat.
I think you're headed towards me.
My party chat stuff is sort of
Get ready for a capsule.
I have a thing that shows who's speaking popping up. And so that that is actually, unfortunately... Oh, boy. Go away. Oh, John. Oh, Jesus.
Life support has been replenished.
Shit. I'm down.
Additional life support has arrived.
Is it not? There we go. I was like, what the hell's it doing?
You know, you have to be able to differentiate between what is public and what is private. And if you want it to be private, you have to make it private. Period.
I mean, it's not hard to differentiate.
Right.
You know
And it's
what I mean?
not hard to
pretty
make
easy,
these things
actually.
private. Like, it's literally a button that you click. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually funny that you were just saying that. That just made me think about something. Now, it would be a different story the way she reacted if someone hacked her account,
Right.
and that was a private Twitter, to change it to a public Twitter. Now, the odds of that happening,
Extremely
I
slim.
don't think that, and yeah, I mean, but I could see her reacting that way if that happened.
Right.
There's
but
no
then
indications.
that's a completely different story. This is just a matter of
Yeah.
somebody getting on there and being rude. But no, and it sounds like she's kind of got a bit of a history of this sort of toxic behavior,
Yeah,
and
and
it's unfortunate.
I
you know,
should mention...
what's unfortunate is
Well, I should mention that when she got fired the last time, she also attacked her previous employer, like right afterwards. So you see a pattern here because now she's attacking ArenaNet as well, right afterwards.
right. I don't know how well that's going to bode for her in the next place. I mean, the next place she tries to hire, they're going to be like, "Well, wait a minute, hold
You're
on.
right.
I see a pattern here."
So anyway, you were saying, Bill.
All right.
Now that we're in our ships and we can actually talk again.
Yeah. Our brains aren't being distracted. Just that, the thing, I think the worst part is anytime somebody is in a situation where they have a life-altering experience, right? Losing your job is life-altering. You don't have any income. You got to find another source. Hopefully it's a time if it's usually through, bad luck, downsizing, shit happens, but if it's through some sort of controversy, if you're not at least able to reflect on it and look at your part in that and say, okay, well, here's where I screwed up, here's where I could do better. But if you, clearly there's a pattern here of that kind of toxic behavior, it's unfortunate, because then you can see that there's some sort of like mental conditioning against recognizing your role in that problem. It's one thing if you were at a company and there was a kerfuffle and you lost your job and you're like, well, fuck, it's their fault because X. But now it's happened a second time that we know of, and now we can say, okay, one time it's one thing, but a second time you might be the problem.
Right. We're moving past coincidence here and into a pattern. And that is an issue for...
What's going on, John?
Future stuff. Oops. What's up, John?
Not much, guys. I was trying to chime in.
Oh, were you watching on one of the streams?
Yeah.
Was it not showing you? Let me see.
I saw him join the party.
Well, no. I mean, was it not showing his chat? Let me look. I have to make sure because sometimes my chat program doesn't show all of them. Yeah, it's not showing my mixer. Sorry, John. I didn't realize it wasn't showing my mixer.
That's no biggie. I was taking some personal digs at you, but
that's
it's
all right.
cool.
Well, I expect nothing less from you, John. That's why I love you.
Hey, you guys want some help? I can hop on Warframe.
Yeah, man. It's funny. This might be the first time after all these years we're finally playing Warframe together.
I mean, if you guys need, we can run 4 people, so I don't mind helping.
Dude, hop in.
Let me invite. We'll do that, and then John can join in. John, if you could just maybe not use your Connect. Because I'm hearing us echo.
I'm
don't
not
think
using
that's-
it.
That's
Alright,
the podcast. or coming through his TV
Yeah.
at the same exact time.
All right, yeah. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm fixing my sound. Give me a second here.
So Brian in YouTube was saying, back to your point, we were lucky to grow up when video games were just becoming a thing, especially for PC, where it was more of a subculture. Developers really used to care, and they still do, but now that they're not the ones with the say, the mega studios, publishers basically, have ruined the relationship with fans to an extent. Social media has destroyed people's ability to communicate. You know, I have to agree in a way. Like, I mean, Bill...
Yeah, I'm going to disagree, but go ahead.
I say in a way. Because you see a lot of shitty people on social media, and you really go, wow. That's why I posted that thing like yesterday where you were like, you know, fair. When I said like, or when I posted that picture that says, I no longer have a sense of humor, just unending sarcasm and a seething hatred for most of humanity.
Yeah.
And it's that you can get that pretty true because you see the worst of people.
But that's not I was going to say, that's not a result of social network. That's a result of human beings. Remember, when people say, "Oh, the internet's full of," the internet, and the people refer to internet like it's this other place where this other population of people exists. No, that's all people. Social media hasn't ruined our ability to communicate. We probably always sucked at it. Now that we can do it on a more global, immediate scale, we really get to see how shitty people are.
Yeah, I'm going to say that
might be the problem.
Think social media has amplified the ability for really stupid people to just get a voice and get out there, and for other stupid people to agree with them and amplify that voice.
It does, but let me tell you something else. There are millions and millions and millions of people on the internet, and there are probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds ruining it for the rest of us. So it's not like it's really this, cross section of like, and I make it sound like I'm a misanthrope. I'm kind of not, but also the technology. Also, keep in mind, is new. This is all brand new. Like, we just invented the internet like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and all this social stuff, especially the immediacy with our mobile phones and mobile data, and being able to communicate at this massive immediate scale instantaneously, right, is brand new. And there's sort of like a growing pains thing. We all kind of have to learn how this works, how we get along. Somebody had mentioned earlier about I'm trying to think, but something about there will always be trolls on the internet. Well, no, there are always trolls right now because we're learning how this all works. Eventually, I think once it really sinks in that the digital world and the real world are kind of the same thing, you're going to find that parity, and you're going to find parity, not parody, and not to mock it, but we're going to find the way it coexists and the way one complements the other in getting things done, in communicating, and part of that is going to be learning how to respect one another. Now, there's a lot of sensitivity right now, and that's probably because it's a knee-jerk reaction to, we've got the internet, great, one day, boom, there it is, right? People start using it, becomes, critical mass. Then all of a sudden people realize, oh, wow, I can just go on the internet and say shitty things to people and there's no repercussions. That happens. Then what happens?
Should have stayed for porn.
It's the pendulum swinging back and forth. Well, the internet, right. The pendulum swings back and forth. People start being assholes. Then people start getting oversensitive. It's going to find an equilibrium. This is how things stabilize. But again, this is all new. This isn't like, this is in our lifetime. And so, I mean, shit, you figure, 100 years ago, just think about where we were 100 years ago in society. In this very small blip of time, we have accelerated so much in terms of technology and the way we interact with it.
Yes,
there's going to be some growing pains.
I think it was from the atomic bomb, so the end of World War II, until it was either the early 90s or the late 80s, we had more technological advancements than the previous 400 years beforehand, which is crazy to think about.
And so with that rapid growth, literally growing pains, right? When you hit your growth spurt as a human being, there are other growing pains because there's so much growth, you're trying to adapt to it, things are breaking and rebuilding. That's all this is. There's nothing to get upset about. But when you see people like, what's her face, right? She just might be. Now, I know other people who are, very strong on their opinions, and they basically, when I was younger, I always had a soapbox in my back pocket. I was ready to get into a debate.
It was folded up and it fit very nicely in his back pocket.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was always ready to have a debate, or even just like proselytize my opinions and my views, politics, religion, philosophy, all that stuff. I was always ready for a debate. I didn't pick my battles. I took on all comers, and I noticed a couple of things. One being that eventually people get sick of that shit, and the other thing being I actually don't get a lot of value out of it. I started to realize I was wasting my time. It was sort of almost self-indulgent. The battling and the arguing. It was almost became more of just a hobby, and I knew I wasn't really opening my mind to learn new things. It's just something that I like to do. So, and now that I'm older, when I see other people doing that, especially when they're my age, I'm like, wow, when did you start doing this? Because you get sick of it. Everyone gets sick of it. You've got a limited amount of energy and more importantly, a limited amount of time in your life to constantly be fighting. So you really want to say this is an issue. And back, Sam, I'm going to bring up, if you don't mind, the encounter you had here at my house with a social justice warrior who is a good friend of mine, but again, her politics seem to take front and center like 99% of her time. So I know it's kind of hard. We were sitting here watching Indiana Jones, and I put it on because I was just, there's people here, and she's like, oh, what are you watching? I'm like, Indiana Jones. Okay, so she sat down and started watching it, and she knew the character, she knew the movie. She said she'd seen it a long time ago, and then it's right in the beginning. So he's dodging the giant boulder, and she's like, oh, you're getting another white man saving the day. I'm like, actually, he doesn't save the day. He doesn't save anybody. That's one of the reasons why Indiana Jones is so awesome, is because he was a flawed character. He didn't, every dashing, daring attempt he made, right in that beginning, the guy steals his whip and he tries to jump across the gap after the guy takes the idol, and he misses, and he's pulling on a root, and then root comes up, and everything he does, he always gets through just by the skin of his teeth, because he's tenacious, but he was flawed. And so, but when she said that, I was annoyed. I'm like, no, you're taking a bunch of biases that you have, your bigotry, and this is what I was talking about before. It doesn't matter, what your perspective is. If you make any kind of judgment about someone based on anything, their race, their gender, including white males, you're a bigot. Doesn't really matter how that works. And I realize that's a very unpopular opinion, but I've had that turn against me, where I'm a pretty progressive person. I definitely believe everybody should be treated equally and fairly, and fair isn't always even, right? Some people need more help than others, so you give them that help, and that's fair. So when I have people sort of flip on me and be like, and throw this well, you've had your say, because you're a white male. I'm like, no, I'm Bill Ahern. Don't try to just put me into a real narrow box of identity. Anyway, I don't want to get in the identity politics of it, but with this woman and the things that she did, it's a very toxic kind of thing. And so people like this who are on their soapbox all the time, they're not going to change anything. To the point where, you mind if I tell this story, Sam? At dinner,
yeah.
At dinner. So Sam was making a joke about hipsters, and I already knew that our friend. Well, I'm not gonna name names, but not that not that the worlds would ever collide, but so we were playing a game, and by the way, sitting at the table are some very liberal people, including my wife, including my friend Bob, and so
we'll just put it out there. I'm much more what we would call centrist. I have some conservative ideas and some liberal ideas, and I try to mix them where I feel they should be mixed. If that makes sense.
So, what is centrist? I mean, and that's fine. That's it. Just means that if this one thing makes sense to you on this side, and I think I'm a little more left of center, but certainly when I run into people who are more radicalized, I'm kind of like, oh wow. So we're playing Fuck, Marry, Kill, but we're playing it with politicians, and so it was pretty funny, and everyone's kind of drinking and having a good time, and then Sam makes a joke about hipsters not losing, hipsters losing their balls, and the social justice warrior gets very upset about, well, what's that supposed to mean? Because Sam was being gender normative. I don't know if I'm using the phrase right. So it was just one of those things where it wasn't picking the battle right at the right time. And I feel like, if you're really going to change minds, you have to know when to pick your battles, to affect positive change.
And
Otherwise,
you notice I did not
you
escalate
basically
past that.
No, it was very well done.
Like just the whole thing was like.
So kudos to
like,
you.
I was like, well, you know what? We don't have to talk about that. That's all I said. And there we go. Like that's what it comes down to. And you're right. It comes down to, like, with Jessica Price, with Sarkeesian, with a bunch of the writers at a lot of these game websites. They don't know how to pick and choose their battles, and they don't know when to shut up. Really, is what it is. And there are times when, yes, you just have to shut up. Because online, it may be slightly different because you don't have to worry about pissing off the other person so much that they physically assault you. But when you are in the presence of somebody else, that is a danger, whether they're male or female, that they could assault you just because they suddenly feel like they're justified in doing so. And you have to know when to just be like, you know what, I'm just going to shut up and not talk about this anymore. Let you think you won the battle and the war, but, you really haven't, because you haven't done anything to change the other person's mind as much as just really make them think that you're an asshole. Right? Like,
right, which sucks. No, yeah, and it sucks because...
I'm saying, am I making sense there?
Go ahead.
Like...
Yeah, you are, absolutely.
And... that's just how I feel. Like, there are times, like, look, there have been times when I've really wanted to say something to some people out there, and I just bite my tongue, figuratively, and just grin and bear it. Like, okay, whatever. And, that it pisses them off at the same time, but I'm not going to get into some sort of confrontation where I... or the other person, or both, are going to regret it at some point.
Right. And, I think that, and just being able to recognize when the right time is to have that battle is really crucial, So, and it's kind of funny to me that people who don't have that ability to recognize that.
Right. And I think that's the problem with this person, Jessica Price, from the ArenaNet, is she doesn't know when to stop the battle, because she's attacking her former employer now, which, I mean, look, I said it to Bill earlier. If Bill or I had done the exact same thing, like if I was up in, say, the sales office, and one of the customers that I don't like was there, and I proceeded to berate them in front of sales and or management, I would be fired, period. Because guess what? That customer brings in like $1 million a year. I don't. They can replace my ass really quickly. And I don't think Jessica understands that. Is in the case that she's in particular, this is a, as some people said, he was some no-name rando YouTuber. It's like, no, he's a partner of ArenaNet. He is well respected in that community, which great. Love it for him. He's like a big lore guy in that community. And to me, that's fine. Wonderful. Do that, dude. That's awesome. You do you. I mean, I might be in that lore thing for, say, Vampire the Masquerade or, a certain other couple video games out there. But, that's the thing. It's not my place to sit there and make judgments on that dude either. But if, and John and, I can't remember your first name right now. But, if you were...
Bill.
No, not you.
It's Josh.
So, like,
Yeah,
it's like John and Josh. Like, if you were at your job and you did something like that, like a similar vein of things to a customer, what do you think would happen to you guys?
Well, I mean, I work for a small company, and so I really wouldn't be in that position. But I understand the premise of it. I think that I think we collectively, not like us, but we collectively have gotten a little too emotional or free with our emotions and let them dictate, our actions, and then they validate everything. Like this chick reminds me of like my ex-girlfriend, who you guys probably met like once many years ago, but she does no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she, she's perfect, and everything she does is validated because it's emotional driven.
Yeah.
And I'm not being misogynistic saying that women are more, because guys do it too, but that's kind of where we are. Like we're basically turned into a bunch of pussies. Is basically what we turned into.
I can see that, yeah, and there is a point where you're right, where like emotion becomes much more. It's kind of like the whole thing that a lot of people like to say is reals before feels, where reality should take precedence over your feeling, but some other people think it should be feels before reals. Where their feelings validate everything that they're saying or doing, and you have to accept that. And it's like, objectively, no, you don't have to. Period. Because
I mean, did you guys see the dialogue that that Smitty was having with Adelia?
No.
Yeah,
No, I missed it. Was that on Facebook? Was it? I gotta go look it up. What was it?
He posted a video in a response to a thread where he was like kind of talking about how he became he was liberal and now he's conservative and he supports Trump, and obviously Adelia doesn't, and her and some other dude were just kind of like going back and forth. I thought it was a legitimate kind of debate, but like Schmitty just took it to a whole nother level, man.
Did he meme them, or was it like not even a meme? It was just some weird video.
No, it was just him. He apparently does like political stuff on YouTube. I had no idea.
Oh, I had no idea either.
And
his trajectory got real weird. We were at Ministry last year when it came around, or whatever it was, a year and a half ago or something. And Ministry had the duck, the Trump duck thing that a country had done, I think, the Korea, or I don't know, some Asian country had done a Trump duck, right? Making fun of Trump, because apparently making balloons of Trump is funny. And I'm just saying that because I don't have a reason to hide my political views. I will say that I hear people's political views and I accept them, even if I don't agree with them, even if I think you're insane. I don't support Trump at all. I don't really think that he's the. I don't. Again, talking about toxic people, he's clearly a liar. He's clearly pathological in his behavior.
He's clearly a narcissist.
But that's if he is, and those are observable things. You don't have to be a licensed therapist to be able to observe that and identify that. But be that as it may, we're at the Ministry show, and he says, "Oh, my audience would hate this." And I hadn't really followed his YouTube channel in a while. So here's the thing: many years ago, several at this point, he was married to a minister. Her family were ministers, so she sort of like, I guess, kind of just went into the family business, if you can call it that. I don't know how that works. I don't know what the faith was. But anyway, so the family didn't like Joe because he's an atheist, and I don't know if he's a conservative now. Maybe tomorrow he's going to be a Christian too. Who knows? But at the time, he was an atheist, and so the family did not like him.
Someone loud.
Boom, schlock, lock. So anyway, ultimately the family drove a wedge between them, and they got a divorce. So Joe was spending a lot of time really being like the angry atheist, the guy who needed to let the world know that like religion is, the opiate for the masses. And we sat down, we talked about it, and I think he kind of wanted me to get on board. He never said to come on to the show. He was part of this atheist network we were talking about, and I had a much more measured approach than I had about religion in the past, since I too am an atheist. But I just don't really care about religion anymore. If your religion is the thing that keeps you from going to a mall and gunning people down, then by all means go fucking pray. But he was kind of real into that. For years, he would talk endlessly on YouTube about, the story of it, his wife, all the details, and all the evils of religion. So I was really kind of taken aback a little bit when he said that his audience, he made a reference that his audience was he's like an alt-right Trump supporter kind of guy. And some certain things that over the years I've known him, we used to be roommates, to the people listening, like two or one of you. But we used to be roommates. But some of the things that he had said, now I'm looking back and going, oh, I mean, he says he was liberal, and okay, sure. I always thought when we lived together, I thought Joe was a Christian conservative. So he kind of always, I did, and one day we were talking about it, and I think he said he was an atheist. I'm like, I think he didn't have, I think he didn't think about religion much until this thing that happened with his ex-wife, and then he became like, you know, damaged by it, and then it became like a thing. But who knows? And then however he evolved into, you know, he was on YouTube, and you know, I don't know. I don't know how he got to where he is.
Look, to be perfectly
and I'm
honest,
not saying that
I haven't
like
talked to Joe probably in 10 years. Except he showed up on one of my streams. And that's it. Like, that's the last time I've talked to him, and that was like a year ago, easy. But, like, I haven't face-to-face talked to him in at least 10 years, I don't think.
Yeah, I saw him in ministry last year, and it was good to see him. I like Joe. He's a fun guy. How the hell people fall into their politics, I don't know. Hey, listen, when I tell people I'm an atheist, secular humanist, they probably like, oh God, I thought you were better than that. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what people think? But who, like, also who cares? Like, I don't give a shit if somebody doesn't like the fact that I'm not liberal enough, or you know, or whatever, right? Like, who gives a shit? It doesn't freaking matter. But I just think the Joe thing is pretty interesting. It's an interesting time. This comes back to John, what you're saying, we're all kind of pussies right now. I think, honestly, it's a good thing, and here's why. There's a lot of, here's a term that probably is going to make Sam's hair stand on end, but there is a lot of toxic masculinity. There is this idea that, you know, to be a man, you have to prescribe to a certain set of standards and behaviors. Like, it took me a long time to, like, I'm okay with talking about my feelings, although I always kind of was, but now, like, I don't need to sort of fake some sort of masculinity. When I talk to certain guys, I hear them saying really shitty things because I know that they think that that's what they're supposed to say because they're supposed to be manly, and that's how men act. That toxic masculinity stuff, like being a shithead just because that's what men do, is bullshit. And so, but of course, this hypersensitivity is annoying. So again, it's going to be the rubber band effect, right? That elastic, like, it's going to stretch out to one direction and it's going to snap back to another direction, right? And I think it finds its equilibrium. So the hypersensitivity is just part of a process, I think, where eventually we come back, you know, a little bit down to earth. And so, but it's kind of good. You know, I mean, I think, you know, people are thinking about, I think the alt-right is kind of a reaction to this oversensitivity, which is a reaction to the online trolling. It's all kind of cause and effect. And I think people just have to be a little bit patient, be a little bit more patient. And I also, I think it's contingent upon everybody personally to identify when the right time is to pick your fight, you know? And there's always going to be that asshole out there, whether he's trolling you online or he's cutting you off on the highway. There's a lot of human beings who are total fucking dickheads. And instead of internalizing that and becoming a dickhead yourself, I think it's good to go, oh, there's one, and just try to let it go. I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, I don't get road rage, but when people cut me off, for example, to kind of continue with the analogy, I get really aggravated, and my temptation is to, like, tailgate them, right? Like, just to kind of, now I want to be a dick back to them. But you know, I'm getting better at not doing that kind of stuff. Again, I don't get road rage. It's just a couple of things that really set me off, and now I'm just like, I can't control that guy. I can't control that guy. So he's going to go do whatever it is he does, and he's probably a miserable fuck to begin with. So let him live his miserable life, you know, and do whatever. You know, I think if everybody took a little bit of that effort, certainly I'm not one to give advice on it, but I think that that's kind of where we're at. I think we're at a point in culture and history where all this technology is changing, and we're still dealing with a lot of aftermaths of huge cultural shifts in this country. And you know, who knows? It's going to be really interesting, though. And that's the approach I try to take. It's let me, as much as I can, detach and just watch.
But here's the problem with that. Now you're actually bringing up a whole new subject. Now you're bringing up the feminists, as you're saying, and everything else of all the people that are sensitive. Why are you being such an asshole to that guy? You know what? You don't know what's wrong with him. You don't know what's bothering him. Whole nother book just opens up when you start saying stuff like that, and the wrong person in the right room would get completely pissed off at you just for saying that in general. That's the problem.
But you're gonna get
But does
that,
it make it less?
everybody,
no matter
what. Though.
Yeah,
that's been a thing.
But does that, I was gonna say, does that make that less true, though? I mean,
No,
But
no,
you
no,
don't, though.
it's
You
not.
don't know it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's just I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, if people were actually watching this, I was about to come in. I was about to say, so your hours are what? Can I come here often? This is very cleansing for me. Like, this is honestly, it's just funny. Half of the people get overpressured for too much, or pissed off at so little, for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
that's
then
kinda my
blow up
point,
on
right?
everybody
Like,
else.
you get so mad, and you're having a shit day. I know, I can be having a shit day. I'm coming home from work, and it was a long day for one reason or another. And like I said, some guy cuts me off, and let's just say that I was the kind of asshole who had road rage, and then I do something stupid and I cause an accident. Let's just say, right? It could have been so easily avoided if I just allowed myself to say and to allow myself to de-escalate by trying to think outside of myself and say, well, I don't know, maybe that person's in a rush, or maybe they're just an asshole and I can't control them. I don't know what their deal is, and there's no point in me wasting my energy trying to figure it out, because that's true. There's no reason for me to sit and get angrier, because, by the way, stress and anger does fuck up your body.
Oh yeah.
That shit fucks your body up. Stress, you can get knots in your shoulders, and anger just makes you, like, people who are angry, you ever notice, like, these, like, old men who are just nonstop angry? Like, a 60-year-old dude could look like an 80-year-old dude, because he's fucking shaking his fist at the clouds all goddamn day. I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
You don't want to be Grandpa Simpson?
Yeah, maybe some people get pissed off that I'm trying to, no, I don't. You know what I mean? So maybe people might get pissed off at me for saying, hey, you know what, maybe just assume that person's got some shit going on, or better yet, just assume they're an asshole. Like, you can't know, so why bother? And let people get mad at me. That's fine, because you know what? I can't control them either.
And that's a lot of the way.
Bill, I just want to take.
Go ahead, John.
No, I just want to take this opportunity to apologize in advance. I probably have cut you off if you drive in South Jersey.
I don't. I drive 76, but I'll accept that apology anyway on behalf of all the other shitty drivers.
Yeah. No, like trust me, dude. Like Tuesday and Wednesday were two of the worst days I've had in a while. Tuesday, our computer system was down at work for 5 hours. So that fucked us up because we got so far behind. And then Wednesday, one of my tires went flat. So I had to get 2 new tires. So now I'll have 4 new tires on my car. But I have to go put them on tomorrow. I was just like, what is going on? Like, I better fucking win the lottery on my birthday. That's all I have to say. Because this week is just shitty.
Did you win the lottery?
It hasn't. Well, it just drew. I haven't looked.
Oh, okay. That's an actual thing. I thought you were just making a joke.
Yeah, no, well, the joke was I better damn well win the lottery.
Okay.
But I did play it,
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know when they draw the lottery. I don't.
Yeah, Mega Millions is tonight and Powerball's tomorrow. And the Mega Millions is like 300.
All right, well, good luck, asshole.
Hey, if I win, I start a company, you're coming.
Okay, as long as I could be a programmer. Unless I could just stand around. Stand around, no pants on.
Yeah, well,
If you need an outside sales guy, let me know.
So yeah,
we've been yakking. I have been eating. I will confess, but we can get into this thing in a second.
Yeah, so I think
the game. I
think one of the problems that we're having with the whole Jessica Price thing, just to finish off the subject, is she doesn't want to take any responsibility for what she did, acting as a public face of the company. Okay, which is a problem there. But then the other problem is, like I said, like when you get like Kotaku and Polygon and BuzzFeed and a couple other, I think GameIndustry.biz and a couple others, like taking her side, that escalates the problem because now she's being validated by other people and people with reach.
Well, I'm gonna just throw out some 2 cents because I could not contribute to the conversation before I joined. First off, I'm not gonna call out this dude, but you really don't know his motivation for supporting her because some dudes and even some women will go ahead and support people because of they have ulterior motives. For number one. Number two, I'll tell you a quick story about my crazy ex-girlfriend. She got a job. She lived in Voorhees at her parents' house, and she got a job in Cherry Hill, the adjacent town. Right when she got applied for that job, it's like from 9 to 5. She asked them if she can come in at noon instead because she had problems getting up early. They said no, the job is 9 to 5, and hired her anyway. So a couple weeks later, she calls me up crying. Long story short, they fired her. I said, well, what happened? She goes, well, I was late to work. I'm like, what time did you get there? She goes, like, I got there at 1. I was like, well, what did you tell him? She goes, I told him I was stuck in traffic.
Oh my
From
god!
Voorhees to Cherry Hill? Look, if you're stuck in traffic for
Now she's
4 fucking hours in Voorhees to Cherry Hill, the fucking hand of God better have come down and ripped apart Route 70.
Now this is her logic though. On her way there, she probably did hit some traffic. Now she might have left, 4 hours too late to begin with, but her defense was, you know what? She said, you know what? It's their fault. I gave them the opportunity to have me come in at noon instead of 9, and they didn't take me up on it.
That's not her call.
And that's
the thing.
But that's the mindset of some people.
Right, that's
out
his
there.
point. Right, the flawed logic.
It makes you wonder how some people ever get through in professional life. It's like, look, they changed my schedule from 7 to 3:30 to 10 to 6:30. And you know what? It's a shitty schedule, but I get paid 50 cents more an hour because of it. And but it's a shitty schedule because I don't have time to do anything before work, and everything's closed, that I would have to do after work. So if I have like a doctor's appointment or anything, I have to take off time. I can't be like, oh well, my doctor's office is open late on Wednesdays. I can just go in at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. You know what I mean? These are things that I have to deal with in order to make money. And I don't sit there and try and change my job to fit me, because they'll get rid of me. That's all there is to it. Craziness. Boy, you can pick them, John. I mean
Yeah. This is a long time ago, John.
Yeah, I mean, I just blocked her a couple months ago because she's just out in the left field. But yeah, I mean, this is back when Smitty was still spinning, because Smitty met her.
Okay.
Wow, that's a long time. So.
All right.
Yeah, but
so,
I mean, we still were hanging out.
I think I think we all agree that she needs to take responsibility for her actions, and that attacking her employer is not the best idea for the future. Oh, and Bill, just so you know, she's also one of the people that celebrated John Bain Total Biscuit's death.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did want to mention that. And what made me think of that was because, again, I mentioned I'd recently watched the Warframe, the Digital Extremes documentary that they put together early this year. And one of the things that they said was there's a couple pivotal points. One was when they went on Steam.
Right.
But prior to that was the Space Bomb, forget her name, Rebecca something, but she only Warframe players know who Space Bomb is. Said basically you can divide pre-Total Biscuit review and post-Total Biscuit review in terms of a salient point in history of Warframe. Like apparently once he did a review and kind of talked about it, it was like a game changer for them, So I don't know what things he said or did. Perhaps he was just being honest, and a lot of people, as we pointed out here, don't like honesty when their feelings are involved. But I guess he was honest. I never watched a lot of his videos, but yeah, it made me think of that because I remember as I was going through her Twitter feed, just kind of get a sense of who this person was. I saw that she had said whatever she said.
She said
good. Basically, glad he's dead.
I'm glad he's no longer around to cause harm. And what was actually funny is some other dude on like an RPG blog said, all I can really say about Jessica Price is I'm glad she's not around to do any more harm. And I was like, wow,
oh, that's good.
That's just perfect. Like you just close the book there and you go, yup, that's it.
Yeah, that was definitely a mic drop.
Yeah. So, and I like I said,
do we want to?
I also don't think that the journalists should be supporting her the way they are by making it seem like it was all AreaNet's fault again, because they're just validating her. And the other thing is they're barely even mentioning the other dude who was there for 13 years. It's all her. So I mean, the dude messed up, but like you said, Bill, I don't know if firing him was necessarily the best idea, but maybe they felt like they had to in order to maintain, to show, I don't want to say solidarity, but to show that even if you've been there consistency. Even if you've been there a long time, these social media rules apply to you as well.
Right.
So.
This is a level 8 to 18, so we should be okay with this, I think.
Okay. I will accept.
John, I'm sure you are. You're level what?
MR 23.
Damn, dude.
I'm in my next.
Yeah, I sort of play this game a lot.
And the thing is, I get real into it, and then I fall out of it, and now I got to bring a bunch of my frames up because I'm actually having trouble with a level, and I need to get somebody who has better crowd control because I got fucking owned. It's in the void because I'm trying to get the new Warframe, the Umbra. In order to do that, I have a couple stories I have to get done. You know what I mean? So it's like that whole I got to do this before I can do this before I can do this.
Right,
and and I hate the interception. They're my least favorite game types, and it's in the void. It's a high level. It's tough.
A lot of this where this game kind of overtakes a lot of people is that they don't really say, hey, you have to do pay to win, or everything's locked behind some bullshit. Everything's there for you to grab. Every
It is.
Prime character, everything is there. If you're willing to put the time in, you could get every character. Easily.
Yeah, that's what's great about it. Yeah, I was explaining that to a guy I work with, because I said I'm gonna be playing a game with my buddy tonight for his birthday, and he said, "What gaming plan?" I was like, "Well, I really don't know, but I've been into Warframe a lot lately. What's that?" So I explained it to him and told him, it's a free to play, and he kind of made a look. I'm like, "No, it's not that kind of free to play. Like, this game, you don't actually have to, you don't have to spend $1, and anything you do want, you would have to spend money on, is just cosmetic. Other than the primes, and even the primes you can grind for parts."
That is true. And you know what? There are people that never spend any money and they have tons of platinum because they just grind so much. They get...
Yeah, and then they have a marketplace where you can sell things for plat.
They get all the best Warframe blueprints and materials, and they sell that, and they're like, yeah.
And speaking of which, Sam, so it's been a while since you've played. They've even made grinding for parts even better now. They have. They've made it a little bit better. It's less kind of like reliant on RNGesus, to an extent.
That's good.
Obviously. Yeah.
Well, you have 4 different instances if you're in a max group instead of just one. Yeah. So you have a better chance of the item that you're dropping.
Everybody running the same relic, and you have 1 in 4 chances to get that one piece that you're looking for. Running with randoms, that's a completely different story. But
right.
Yeah, it is, and I tend to run with randos, just because I can never really get enough people to play with me.
Yeah, see, but this is a game I never uninstall either. You know what I mean? Like, I just keep
it.
Because there may be a time when I will come back to it.
Oh, yeah, I know I'm definitely going to make I think it's one of the best video games ever made. There are many great games. I just think that this one keeps getting better and better.
And
yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I didn't really once you get the modding system down, like that's what got it for me. Once I got that, it was just game over.
I think also what helps.
What I always told people
is that while it is difficult to master, it's not difficult to get into.
No.
True.
The only thing I ever told people is that even if you're starting out and you don't have many slots, right? And I told people, if you don't have many slots, put $20 into the game and that's it. Don't put anything more or anything, just put $20 in the game just to buy a few Warframe slots and then do everything else for farming. Otherwise than that, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, it can work.
It definitely works. And you know the thing is, like all of the modding and the free to play stuff aside, the game itself is just fun to play. It's a fun game.
Yes, it is. Especially when you remember how to.
Which I still
slide.
find it funny that. What was it? Destiny comes into play and they start badmouthing Warframe and everything else is supposedly around that now, and it's quite funny. It's like Warframe's been out longer than your game has entirely, and they still haven't fucked up. They've been improving every fucking update.
That
Tenfold.
And that's actually one of the other
Yeah,
things
exactly.
about this game is they constantly update. Constantly. This is much closer to the PC version now than it was when it was first launched. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing I brought Ember.
Yeah, that's what I brought Ember
I don't
too.
even remember my
I'm trying to
fucking
level
powers.
up Ember. I'm trying to, because like I said, I got this one thing in the void, and I figure Ember's good, either Ember or Frost, but I'd go with Ember.
Is it a defense or no?
It's an intercept, so you have to like control the 4 towers.
Frost is too slow. I'll bring my Zenithstar, and that can just control 1 point, so you only have to really watch 3.
I'll take
I can bring
I have a
other one.
Zenithstar, but I don't know how to use it. I have it right now. I have it equipped, but I don't know how to use it.
when you hit the melee button and hold it down, and you have to have the weapon as you're equipped, and what it does is it'll throw out a little disc, and that disc has a
there
timer.
it goes.
Yeah, or I mean, a lot of people will say, and especially a lot of, like, a lot of veterans will say that most of the frames that are noobish are still some of the most powerful frames in here. Like, as of Rhino, if I want to control something and never die and be a fucking tank, Rhino would be the one I wanted to go with. Or if I wanted to protect something and stay, like, keep that, whatever I'm protecting from dying, run Frost. If you want to just completely kill everything in the room, run Ember. Or one of the ones that have an area effect to kill everybody before they even touch you.
I still like, what's her name? The Berserker one. I'm drawing a blank on her name.
Banshee?
No, like the... she goes into Berserk
Valkyrie.
mode, and then...
Yeah,
Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie. She's nuts.
Valkyrie. What was I thinking
Yeah,
about? Oh, because it was so close to that. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right. Because if she becomes invulnerable, and every time she kills somebody, she gets health back.
Yeah.
And she can't be knocked down. They did kind of limit her power a little bit. And I was using Zeneric, the school and whatever the schools are. So with Zeneric and Siphon, I basically had unlimited energy with Valkyrie, and they kind of changed that. So that was my build with her.
By the way, how long are we staying here for? Are we staying for the 20 minutes to get the best reward, or are we just gonna...
No, we're just kind of fucking around. We can. This is a low level. I'm really just trying to level up Ember. But if you guys want to like really try and brave that one thing I'm having a problem with, if you guys have
I mean, other people have different ways of doing it, but the way I figured out how to level up the fastest was doing spy missions by myself with a bow.
Oh yeah?
And staying straight up stealth. You could get up to about almost, with certain enemies, you could get up to probably close to 6,000 per kill if you get a max stealth going, which I think is
interesting.
500. Okay. So it almost doubles each time.
It's certainly useful for me as solo, because I do play mostly solo.
Well, if you play public, you can go to Hydron. I think it's Hydron. I might be saying it wrong. I don't know if you have it unlocked yet, but that, you can go maybe 10 or 15 waves as long as you don't have a bunch of maxed out stuff equipped, and you'll max out. It's pretty easy. It's a...
Oh, you're talking about that one room where everything is, or they basically take Chrome and Ember and all the diesel ones that just outright destroy everything.
Well, it's a defense, so I mean you can really bring anybody. It's very rare.
So what does Zenithstar doing? It's just slicing anybody who steps into the radius of that thing?
Right, it's just a blast ring.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
And then also I'll bring that other guy, not Rhino, but the other guy that has the shield. I can't even think right now. I'm having sleep.
Frost.
One of the newer ones.
No.
I know that he has like it's like a big like a cylinder that he creates, right? That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I
I
forget.
didn't mean to do that, but alright.
I have every frame except for the Umbra and the whatever the 2 new primes are.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I want that Umbra so
I
bad.
do play this a lot.
Tenno, prepare for life support.
Yeah, I mean most of them I don't use. I mean, I really like Harrow because I don't know if you guys have your HUD set up or you can see other people's health and shields.
Mm-hmm.
But my overshield's 3,700 right now, so.
Yeah, mine's right
Really?
now
Holy shit.
1462, and it keeps on going up every time my little bot keeps on adding to it.
And then Harrow can also heal. He can also generate energy. I can make you guys invincible for a little bit. Whoever's
That
in
dude
my...
kills me, man. I looked up how to farm his pieces. I got most of them. But he is such a pain in the ass to farm for.
I actually don't remember the quest, but but he's fun. I actually had him for a while, and it wasn't until
I think it's Chains of Harrow. I think it's the quest.
Yeah, I just don't remember it.
I have it. I haven't started it.
Yeah, it's a good quest. It's a lot of like it's supposed to be scary or something like that, but I kind of found
In fact,
it entertaining.
I think I need to do Chains of Harrow is the one I need to do before I can do the Umbra quest, the sacrifice. That's the one I
I
need to
am
do.
so far behind all these quests, you don't even know. Like, I couldn't even tell you.
Well, the good thing is you can go to your codex, and you can see which ones you haven't completed. So it's not like it's like really hard to figure out. So if you ever want to go through it, I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, the only quest I won't help you with is that stupid Atlas quest. The Golem Precept or whatever it's called, man. That.
One of the most
yeah,
annoying quests in the game.
I'm not sure I've done
Because
that
if you
one
don't
either. I've
have
got about
the
4.
right guns, it's absolute a shit show. Because you do no damage.
Interesting.
And
Yeah, it's a part of it's an Archwing, so you need the best weapon I used it on was the Grattler, and I probably
like the Grattler.
Yeah, that's a good weapon. I use the Fluctus now. I don't play a lot of Archwing, but
I like
plus
it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I dig them.
I like it, but I just don't play a lot of it, you know. And I put a bunch of Formo on my Archwing, so like a lot of them I need to level up.
Yeah, I got with Plains of Eidolon, you could use your Archwing for a lot more stuff now. So, and now of course with the Railjack, you'll be able to probably do even more. So it makes the wings a little bit more useful.
Oh man, I put some low level weapons on. I can't kill people here. Mass kill.
yeah, I put my my Necros on. He's not exactly the highest level frame I have.
Get ready for a capsule.
I still, as of weapons go, I still prefer the Tigers.
I have a Tonker that I formed the fuck out of, and then they changed it so that the Tonker can actually do damage to you. And I forgot. One game I just kept knocking myself the fuck out. I'm sure the guys I was playing with are like, dude, this guy's a fucking noob.
Is that like that rocket launcher pistol?
I've delivered another life support
It's the grenade
capsule.
launcher. The yellow one, and then it used to just like knock you back really far or high, like it would bounce and throw you up in the air. But now, and I have it, mine is so powerful that it will kill me in one shot if it bounces back on me.
Well, that sounds useful.
It is, as long as it doesn't hit me.
I guess Desecrate doesn't work as much in here anymore as it used to, huh?
You might just have to level up. I mean, obviously they get more powerful as you level up your frame.
Yeah, well, Desecrate's the one where like it makes the bodies drop a second item.
Yeah, you only have to run it once. I don't know if you played before they changed it. So you just either activate it or you deactivate it. Before you had to like spam it.
Okay.
So there should be like a little icon that's like reverberating.
Sort of blinking.
That tells you that it's
Okay.
active.
All right. Okay.
I have to say one of the hardest things for me with this game was probably I built my own dojo. So.
Oh yeah, I built mine too. I didn't know. Be careful not to let it grow too big, or it, like levels up, and then you have to double all of the research materials to unlock shit in your dojo. You know what I'm talking about? Like all the research materials.
Yeah,
I actually kicked people out because I'm like, I don't want them inviting more people. I mean, probably no fear of that. It was a bunch of people I played with when, like, just back in the day, and then nobody even plays it anymore. But
yeah, we got my clan. We got everything researched except 3 things, and one we can't because it's the Ignis Wraith, and we don't even have the blueprint. We don't have enough people participating to get it. But and one of them's a color. The other one is that stupid HEMA. We still need like 20 grand of the mutagen sample that drops on this board.
I don't remember. Was Shadows of the Dead something that Necros always had, or was that something they changed? Where like he resurrected people?
probably something he always had.
Yeah, there was a few characters that got reworked completely. Like there's still stuff like kind of the same, but they made them a little bit better too.
Yeah, that ability has always been there. They might have changed how it performs. I don't use Necros enough to know that.
Gotcha. Actually, I think Bill gifted me Necros.
I did. I think it was a birthday gift. It was a late birthday gift.
It was. A couple years back.
Like a couple of years ago. Yep.
Oh, I meant to put on Facebook, man. My phone is acting goofy and it won't let me type certain things. Like you'll go to post something and like you'll type it out, and then when you hit post, like it won't post. It just stays there, like you're not pressing anything. So anyway, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is it a keyboard thing with your phone, or is it just Facebook?
I think it's just the app. You know, don't laugh at me. I'm a Windows phone guy, and my phone bricked itself, so it's forced me to go to Android, and I hate every moment.
Oh, dude, I had the Lumia 960 and XL, and I fucking loved it. The only reason I went back to Android is because Microsoft officially, like, doesn't support Windows Phone anymore. And I was really bummed out because I love that phone. Love that phone.
Yeah, I had the 928, then I had the Icon. Actually, 2 of them.
Yeah, I think Windows Mobile is a phenomenal OS. I'm so bummed out Microsoft won't support it anymore.
I'm gonna blow your mind. I like the Windows Phone better. You know, the Windows CE.
Oh yeah, I had Windows CE. I had Windows CE.
Yeah.
I had Windows 6.5 mobile. Yeah, I had a little I don't know what.
Remember when it was like the Palm?
It was a computer, but it was Windows CE.
That you had?
Well, that was a different. Palm Pilot was owned by shit. What was their name? And they used the Palm OS. Well, Palm, yeah, but then there was a Handspring split off, and then Palm bought Handspring. But no. The Windows CE Compact Edition had like a little DOS emulator in it. It was fucking awesome.
And you can run custom ROMs. I mean, it was. I'd still have that. I'd still be on that OS if the phone didn't brick itself. No lie, man. It had a stylus. It had a QWERTY keyboard. And then I use a lot of calculations at work. And, you know, when you pulled out the QWERTY keyboard, the number pad became your calculator. It was just freaking phenomenal.
What do you do?
I design
You said
kitchens.
sales?
I sell and design kitchens.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, matter of fact, in 2012, I won a National Design Award.
Oh, really?
Hey, nice. Good for you, man.
Now I gotta.
You guys are certainly keeping the life support going.
All you gotta do is kill, and you have a high rate of kills, and you'll just keep dropping.
I mean, don't they eventually stop? I remember we played for like 45 minutes one time, and eventually the life support drops weren't coming quite so often as they had
I think
been.
it's also after
If
like
you don't
40
kill-
minutes, it drops faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to kill, because they get more difficult as you go, so like you have to maintain your kill rate.
All right, we can. If you guys, I don't know if you guys are bored. Just let me know. We can head out.
It's Nezha, that's who the other person is.
I've seen this, but I don't have any idea what the abilities are, what the skill tree is.
It's kind of like Ember, how Ember has World on Fire. This one, the fire's on the ground, so you have a trail that has duration mods affect that. You have a shield, like a overshield, kind of like Rhino, not as strong. Sorry, what else? You have these little spikes that have a radius around you, like let's just call it 15 meters. Anything in 15 meters where you get impaled. And then you have this that big disc on his back. You can throw it, and then that becomes like a like the movie Crawl, like that little device.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow, I haven't thought about.
You can also
crawling
teleport.
years.
Man, that was my favorite movie when I was like 11, and I'm gonna tell you,
Crawl
I
was
went
awesome.
and yeah, it was awesome until you watch it now, and you're like, my God,
I
acting
recently
is so
watched.
horrible.
I recently watched it again. It was okay. I mean, nostalgia did enough to, but yeah, it didn't age well.
That was worse than I bought. I wanted to see Ice Pirates again because I thought that was good, and I actually bought Time Bandits by mistake, and about like 15 minutes into it, I'm like, man, this is
Oh,
the
come
wrong
on,
freaking
man! I
movie.
love Time Bandits.
Oh yeah. It's Terry Gilliam. Yeah. You know, what's funny is like, and you wonder why, like when movies like Crawl came out, that was early 80s, I think, late 70s, early 80s, right? But like, it's no wonder why when like guys like Schwarzenegger and then like post Rocky Stallone, right, when he's just like all the beefed up action hero, like it's no wonder why those guys were a phenomenon, because with Crawl and like movies like that, you basically had action heroes with dudes with dad bods. They weren't even that buff. They were just like, they were like accountants for like their mortgage broker, and then it's fucking, it's
But
just kind of amazing.
I now
These guys
must
are kind of
become
like,
an action hero.
right, like basically Kevin Sorbo.
Hey, you hit 20. You guys want to bounce?
Sure.
Okay, we'll try Bill's mission.
It's gonna be tough. Sam's gonna hate it.
Probably. All right. Let me see. Which way do I gotta go?
You should just stay. You should probably stay with John, because I'm pretty sure John's got some pretty beefed up characters. Josh may too. I don't know. But I don't know that I have anyone that's strong enough, except for maybe. Well, I have Excalibur is really strong, but the problem is he doesn't really get the job done. I need somebody with much better crowd control. That's your name, right, Josh? Is that what you said it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you what, I got a surprise for you guys when we get there. So I just need to get some energy.
You want me to make some energies?
Oh, I had plenty of pads.
We could always do that start thing where we drop like 6 of them and then just charge everybody and go. I've completed all the missions except for the missions on the ship, and I think a few other ones that I kind of just left as is.
Did you finish a sacrifice already?
I haven't done any
That's
of the
new
new
one.
stuff. Yeah, I haven't done any of the new stuff.
Yeah, I'm desperate for Umbra. I just like the Excalibur frame. He's just basically like Umbra was in like Japan or something for years, and they're just now basically releasing him
To the U.S., huh? Why is my...
to the U.S. And I can't tell. It looks like he might come with a version of the Nakana. At least it looks like he's got a modified Nakana in the sort of like loading screen. Let me know when you guys are ready. I'm gonna.
Yeah, you know what? Let me change Warframe.
I'm just gonna.
Why? Actually, I wanted to check that out because my abilities weren't working correctly. I have stretch on, yeah, so, okay.
Let me maybe
Where
get
is
a higher level
Atmos?
Warframe on for this.
And we're gonna get Supra. There you go.
The only one thing I won, which I think it got vaulted, was War. That's the only thing I wanted.
No, War's not vaulted.
No?
No,
So it's just
and I
the
wish
luck
I
of
could.
getting a damn stalker.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I two-shotted. This is you're gonna find this funny. I was farming Ivara, and
Yeah.
so I'm doing spy missions by myself, and I'm in the middle of one of the points, and the freaking stalker spawned in. So I was
All
so
doors
pissed.
unlocked and you can't do shit. We'll fight
And
him no matter what.
I can't remember who I was, but I two-shotted him it was by panic. I just started hitting freaking buttons, and he died and dropped War. And I was actually in a party with my clan. I was like, "Oh my god!" He thought I hit the lottery.
Maybe you did.
It's funny. I got
No, because War is like a 0.1% drop rate.
Right, so,
That's
so you
how
did
bad
hit the
it is.
lottery.
Well,
Pretty
I
much.
wish I could trade it. I bet you I have like 3 more freaking blueprints.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
the scythe that he drops. I forget the name
There's
of it. and
hate
broken
and
hate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to get rid
I
of your
got it.
broken War to make War. I think I can't remember.
That's fine. But I have broken war and hate. Broken war is great. Or yeah, broken war. Hate is great.
I'm trying to...
And the best melee
Alright.
weapon I have is the one that you make on the moon, or not the moon, on Earth. And I got a ribbon for it, man. Plague Crypt Path. The range is totally insane.
You know what
Totally insane.
I have in mind to build it, and I haven't built it yet, but I want to. And it might not even be all that great, but I'm looking it out. Orvius. I really want to build Orvius. I have the blueprint. I just need to get Orvius, or no, I need to get Orvius blade and Orvius disc. And a bunch
Do
of Kuva.
Kuva missions. Yeah, do Kuva missions, and you'll get
Yeah.
them like not. They'll be dropping like hotcakes. I'm ready whenever you guys are out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good too. I would have to say my favorite guns has to be the Tigress, the Dread. I didn't really like I don't like the Tigress Prime. I still like the original Tigress. Out of that, the Soma Prime was actually pretty good too. As if melees,
All right.
if I'm
Yeah, so I
farming
gotta
money, it's
do-
that whip.
I only have 7 points. What can I put in here? What do I need, like, any sort of resistance in here?
Resistance. Oh no, like resistance to cold or anything? No.
No, the only thing that's in here is usually probably those stupid ass infected, the ones that drain your energy or put radiation on you, and you really can't. You just have to try to kill them as fast as you can.
Yeah, bombards and heavy gunners will be here too. You're going to the void, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be in the void. I'm trying to get to Mott. I have to get to Mott, but before I can get to Mott, I need to do. I need to unlock Mithra. Well, Mithra's unlocked. We're gonna do Mithra. I need to unlock Mott through Mithra. So that's where we're going.
That's total bullshit, man. Because I remember when we first met, I was like, "Dude, do you like applesauce?" You're like, "I hate applesauce." Now all you're talking about is
No, I got the mod. I got the
Now
mods.
we got the mods.
And for the record, I fucking love applesauce.
Oh, speaking of total side note, you guys going to see Zymox when they come?
When are they
I didn't know
coming?
they were coming around.
Yeah, it's a Dracula's Ball. I can't remember. I think it's not the Halloween one. I don't think, or maybe it is. I can't
that's
remember.
kind of far out. Oh, that'd be pretty far out. They've come to Dracula's Ball a couple times.
Really? I just. Oh, dude, and you know, next time I see you guys, because I still have her on my phone, there's a chick. Maybe you'll remember her. There's a chick who has like a Hindu tattoo on her left, like shoulder. It's like an elephant and something else, and it's like an Indian, and she's not Indian. I went on a date with her like 2 weeks ago, and she stopped talking to me immediately. It was just bizarre. She's like, I remember you from like 20 years ago. You used to dance a lot.
Do you remember her name?
Christine. Oh, that's the wrong ability.
But not. Oh, well, no, not that Christine. I'm trying to think.
I think she's hanging out. Wait, guys, slow down. Trying to put shields on everyone. Somebody's down. Who's down?
I'm good. I'll get myself up.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Alright, I'll be following you.
All right. So everyone
Okay,
has
so
a
they're-
I
shield.
have no idea where to go.
Okay, hold
okay,
on.
so Sam,
we
the
just
point is, you'll notice in the map there's A, B, C, D, and there's 4 points. And whoever controls the most amount of pillars for the longest amount of time, they get that percentage up there, like wins. I hate this game type. It's my least favorite.
Alright, well, I'm in D.
I just need 2. All right, I'm maxed. All right, here we go.
All right, yeah, me too.
Just let me know when you run out of shields. I'm gonna put the
Yeah.
Zenistar on this middle point once I get it.
Yeah. All right, so you're here.
What weapon do I have? Oh yeah, the wrong one out.
You fucking assholes.
Shit, I'm down.
Yeah, it's tough.
Do you just need to go to Mott? Because I have Mott unlocked.
I do. If you want to taxi me, I guess. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
Taken a tower. You must
it'll be easier than doing the interception.
And don't they suck? They're the worst.
Well, here, let me just throw this out. This will help you guys out here.
And we have to
Go
control.
back.
We're controlling 1 right now, but we have to control at least 2, probably 3. So
3 is
Really
ideal.
yeah. I don't have. My frame's not powerful enough.
Yeah, I don't think my frame is either.
tower lost.
Regardless, they're hitting you with radiation. There's nothing you can do. They're gonna destroy your shields in a matter of seconds
Yeah.
if you aren't careful.
God damn.
Yeah. No, it's if you don't have a super powerful frame, you're gonna get knocked out in seconds. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna like it. It's super, super tough.
Yeah, my Zenistar just went down. I can't get you guys in time.
That's all right.
I got somebody.
Lost control of a tower.
All right.
Capturing C right now, so I'll play the 3.
Attempt number 2. Oh, my cat. Dang it.
The enemy have captured a tower. The enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and quickly.
Oh, I remember this game type. I've always played it with random.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe,
Well, regardless, you have to do this mission anyway to be able to do this pass as solo. So either way, you might as well. Even if we don't do it now, we could change.
Yeah, I should have brought Valkyrie. I think she would have been better for this.
Shit, I could have brought Eneros. Naros. I need more energy.
Yeah, we can come back and do it.
Yeah, because I can give you guys like shields, but it's obviously not lasting very long.
We have lost control of a tower.
I'm on my Nyx Prime, which I think is level 30.
Well, it's not so much the level, but more or less the mods.
Yeah, and I haven't like upgraded my actual Tenno very much. Like I never did that.
What the fucking sword, dude? What the hell is that thing?
That's the
Not only
Zenithar,
that,
just as...
Yeah, you have to understand the certain people like the heavy gunners. They take it's a mixture between viral damage and something else. That's another thing is these guys are hitting with radiation, which destroys your shields in seconds, but then you have to deal with the heavy gunners and get into their armor and everything else. That's why I run with a shotgun usually to destroy everything in front of me.
Yeah, we're gonna lose because they're 20%.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
Alright, so we'll just come back in and
Yeah, I think Zephyr will be... Or, this one, Valkyrie.
Yeah, I haven't formatted a lot of stuff.
Actually, you know what?
That's probably one of my problems.
No.
Actually, you know what?
I know what
I
I'm
forgot.
gonna
I should have ran with the Atomos. Look at this. Look at my... Look at this. This is just like eating people up. Let's get a shield. Revive you. Just in time for the failure.
Lose.
The enemy has all 4 towers. You must stop them.
I like how they changed it also to revive per mission as opposed to
Yeah,
session,
per day. They're doing it per day or some shit like that.
and it just costs you experience basically.
Yeah. So, got fucking wrecked.
What the hell is this?
Alright.
Okay, let me... I don't really have a lot of...
That's the way we're gonna have some fun with this.
I'll tell you what frames I do have. I have Excalibur at rank 30, Nyx at rank 30, Oberon at rank 30, a Necros at rank 20, and I have Frost Prime at nothing and Trinity Prime at nothing.
Again, they don't really, the rank doesn't matter so much. I mean, your innate abilities will be higher, but it's all about your mods.
Right, and really...
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Hydroid.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think what's a...
Puddle in the depth.
I'll bring Sobek. I'll bring Scourge.
Yeah, I'm bringing Tonker. I'm going to bring my overpowered Tonker with Valkyrie.
I'll keep the Zenistar.
Hey, you guys just when
Eneros.
you're ready.
And I'm only bringing Hydra because I can heal you guys.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to be stingy, so I guess I will swap, right? You know, might as well be a team player, right?
I'll be stingy, man. Stingy helps.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna run Rhino and just let you guys run on the inside, and me and you run the other three. We just keep on rotating between middle and bouncing back between those three right in the middle, and just leave Thursday and him together. Just put them together. But this will probably be better.
Yeah, let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready whenever. Oh, that Christine chick, the dude that I thought that she used to hang out with was this guy Jeff, who was a photographer. He had like a big chin and like a big head.
Oh yeah. I remember Jeff. He was kind of a dick to me though. He was sort of like his body was weirdly proportioned.
Yeah, he was arrogant.
Yes, he was very arrogant. I remember he was always with the girl. Why am I drawing a blank? But I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the girl. You dated her recently?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. She left, she gave me a kiss. She's like, oh, you know, can't wait to see you again, blah, 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 blah. Dude, it's like the switch got turned off as soon as we got in our cars.
Jesus. Yeah, that's the problem with people on our scene. We're always so fucking weird.
That's actually nice now. When you go to put mods on your weapons and your Warframe, it actually shows you like green or red for the different symbols, like
Polarity.
A lot of people get very intimidated by that. You just have to learn the frames of, like, what's good to put on them and what's not. That's all it is. So of just figuring out what works with the character. Or better yet, that's why they made YouTube, and everybody has a bunch of fucking builds to put this, or take variations of what they have. And just go on about your business. What was it? I was in a party with a few friends that were doing a raid, and dude man was getting pissed off, like, to the point that I like to go through a raid, I like to, you know, see the shit for firsthand. So what do? And I'm sitting there to myself, and everybody's like, go watch a video. Oh, I don't want to watch a video. I just want to do it myself. But yet you're asking questions from the people that already know what to do because they either seen a video or they've done it with a different raid team, and you're asking the question of how to do it. We're telling you, if you're not going to understand what we're telling you now, go watch a video. And he was calling everybody else YouTube warriors and everything.
Oh,
I was
God.
absolutely laughing my ass off.
You ready, Sam?
Yeah, I've already accepted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry, guys. I just changed my primary.
Yeah. I like how Bill has the only, like, completely different ship.
I love this ship.
I'll tell you why I don't like that ship or any other ship that's not the primary, is because when you're still, pieces of your ship move and there's no atmosphere in space. Pisses me off.
Solar winds, my man. Solar winds.
I have a basic ship, so it's all good.
Alright, before we start, let me just run some energy real quick.
I was just putting on my skin.
Alright, I'm maxed out. Alright, so... Alright, I'm gonna just throw out some tentacles on D, and then I'm gonna take C.
I'm going after A and B,
what do you
so
want me-
I'm gonna rotate to A and both just stay there and protect. If you need
yeah, just
help, we'll
protect.
come over. It's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, the great thing about
Should be able to
Sonic
pull.
Core is visit Ragdolls, guys, which is great.
Hey, Sonic,
Actually-
that's a good.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come over to you guys and give you a little bit of a buff. Oh, 100% me. Thank you.
Oh, no, you don't.
There. They're all floating.
Yeah, they are. Look at that.
God damn. Alright, this frame might be a little weak.
Once we get all four, it's just a matter of control.
Keep it up.
And I'll put the tentacles back down for you guys. As I get done killing these dudes.
God damn.
Oh, I had Zenostar. What am I doing?
I don't know,
We'll do
my
both.
shields die like immediately here.
And let's take some people here.
Damn it, I hate this shit.
And Zenostar's down. We'll throw some tentacles. Oh, somebody's coming. I don't know who it is.
The enemy have taken a tower. You
That
must
is Shadow.
capture it.
That's Stalker.
Oh, it was me, and he didn't even spawn in. And I died. I don't even know what the hell happened.
Tower lost.
Oh, he's still here. Okay, that's why. Alright. Alright, here we go.
Grab an alpha back. They're going to take Bravo.
The enemy is dominating. You must capture a tower, and quickly.
Alright, so that's down. Alright, let's through this. My cat's gonna die.
Beginning stream decode now.
I have the wrong weapon out, that's why. God damn it. Oh, there's a stalker, and he killed me.
The enemy has captured a tower. The enemy has all 4 towers. You must stop them.
Alright. Let's get Sammy. Throw you guys out.
I respawn just to make it a little easier.
Alright. We should be able to get these points. Let me just blast these guys. Hold on, Sam. I'm gonna try and get to you after I take this point and heal you.
You have captured a radio tower.
Yo, stop hacking my shit.
Stop hacking me.
Alright, let me pull out the Zenostar again.
Ah, my God. Just being dicks. This is not playing who could take over the console the most, assholes. Alright, just keep going for the console, please. Just gonna put that on real quick. Stop healing them.
Here you go, I'll help you out with the
My God.
rainstorm.
Everybody keeps on playing with the damn console.
It's so aggravating. That's why I hate this game type.
It's all good. It's keeping it off you guys, so I'm fine with it. They keep on. As soon as I kill one group, another group comes in like, oh, well, this is not occupied. Let me occupy it for you guys.
Well, I got 10 guys in my little puddle.
See, you come over and they disappeared. So. Oh, great. We have a nullifier in the room.
Seriously?
Ah, they're the worst.
Alright, these guys are slowly dying now.
We are in total control. Keep fighting.
In about 45 seconds, this is ours.
Ah,
Don't
God
worry, guys.
damn it.
I'm coming.
Instantly fucking died.
That's okay.
Clear out the remaining enemy
Let's throw this out.
My dog just farted.
Yeah, but which dog? That's the important one.
It's gonna be Zelda for sure.
avoid fierce reinforcements,
Dobby
or you
doesn't
will
make
need to
such
stand
giant
to code
farts.
more messages.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
a
we have
little-
to do another round?
No.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Cool. Oof, that would be brutal.
Good work today. Not only have we decoded the enemy transmissions,
Thanks for the help, guys.
disrupted their communications.
I gotta see
move
what
pro.
Mott has. That was tough.
Is Mott survival?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna hop on.
Wait, survival? I don't know. I was going to talk about, like, with that type of situation, you either want Frost or Rhino. If you're talking about survivability, those are only two that, at least to bubble and slow people down, or to just give yourself damage boost and iron skin to be
Yeah.
able to have at least 2 life pools going.
Mott is survival.
Awesome. I'm gonna bring in Naros.
Should I use Valkyr or should I use Nyx or should I use Ash? I won't use Nyx. I'll use or Ember. I meant Ember.
See, I have Frost Prime,
I mean, is World on?
but it's 0 level. So which means I can't put shit on it.
Which
Right.
type of survival is it?
Orican. 30 to, it's level 30 to 40.
I'm just staying on Rhino then. I'm not even gonna fuck with anything else. I'm going straight survival and stick on my ass. So, yeah,
Alright.
I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Alright. I'll stick with
I'll put
Valkyr.
Nyx back on for this.
And when we land, check out my health.
Oh, are you running just pure health, no shield?
Yeah.
You got that. See, there's still a few characters that I haven't touched on. Like, I got a variety, but I keep on running into the problem I can't store them all. So there's a few frames I got rid of that I'm never gonna use. So
I remember when this came out on the Xbox and their flaps didn't open when you moved.
Yeah.
well, you get
they're
Trinity
constantly making
Prime for
changes.
free.
Yeah, I think I have Trinity Prime right now. Came with Twitch Prime, I think, right?
Yeah, Frost was I think 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
I
little
got
longer.
Frost. I don't think I got Trinity or was Trinity the new one?
Yeah, Trinity's up right now. So
Yeah, I didn't get it because I watched the Twitch, but then they had a problem. So then basically anyone who logged in the previous day, I'm like, well, fuck, I watched Twitch, but I didn't log in. So I
no,
didn't
no.
get it.
You can still get it. I don't watch Twitch at all. It's
Anyone
YouTube.
who's running
Life support capsules your way.
a prime frame, touch this ball for me.
Oh
please.
yeah.
Activate it when your supply
I
is
got it.
low.
Okay.
The hunt is on, Tenno. The
Thank you, I forgot all about that.
detecting a potential target.
Oh God,
Search for traces of
who's
the
rocket synthesis right now that we have to go chase down? Are we all right next to each other?
I'm trying to get.
I think so, yeah.
I'm right behind you guys.
There we go. 37 for 73%. That's not bad.
Damn it.
Don't worry, Bill, I got you.
Could have just gone into berserk mode, but don't worry, I'm gonna do it in a minute.
What weapon did I bring? Oh, I brought the Scourge. That's right.
I actually may have killed myself. I actually think my grenade bounced back on me. That's why I died. Like I'm saying,
You gotta
one shot,
watch.
I'm done.
The Czar's like that, too. I think somebody was running that earlier.
Shit.
You guys see my health numbers?
I can see the bar, not the number.
62.70.
Oh yeah, 6,000. Yeah.
Jesus. How did that happen?
Mods.
Yeah.
Damn.
A lot of the
Ooh, Argon Crystal.
certain characters can do that. It's actually better for them because they can.
What the
They're out
fuck?
of resilience.
Plus, and
High level
Naros
shit.
can heal himself. You know,
All right,
when
all
you
y'all
have to kill.
motherfuckers need to go up in the air. I don't care. By the way, normal Rhino is pretty easy to grab if you're having a lot of trouble.
I've got him. I like him. He's cool.
I think I have the blueprints for him, but I haven't built him yet. Because I might be low on, No. I didn't mean to hit that.
That should keep you going for a while.
That's
Alright, you guys group up. Hold on a second. I'll,
Support on the way.
Did I get the link to that? Yes, I did, Brian. I just haven't watched it yet.
I love this pistol. I wish I had the, was it the one from the factions? That's the one I want bad.
what, the Vacor Airlock?
Yeah. Is it any
I don't
better
think I
than
have.
the one that you get, or no?
Yeah, the Vacor Airlock is pretty decent. It's one of the best.
I like
my
the
opinion,
status
it's one of the
effect.
best ones.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I still have one. I think I might have sold it. If I have one, I'll just give it to you. It's no big deal. If not, I don't know if I have enough points to buy it. What is it, 80,000?
I don't. Oh, I let my shield drop. Oops. Not even paying attention.
God, I am so bad at this game anymore. Like, I literally have no
I'm telling you.
clue what any of my powers do on this Nick screen.
You just want to run.
Nyx is-
You want to get the mod that lets you move with your last ability, and you're invincible as long as you have energy. And you can,
Nyx is a mind fuck, basically. She'll
Yeah,
just
and-
put. It's
And
yeah.
her
She's
ultra
just
is,
a telekinesis.
Yeah, and her Ultra Nyx isn't the one where she can absorb all the damage. Like, she'll draw all the fire and absorb all the damage.
No, that's Mag. I believe that's Mag.
Mag, okay.
Yeah, I think Mag sits in a little orb, absorbs it all, and then does like an explosive.
Yeah, no, that's Nyx.
pull
Yeah,
on.
Sam just did it. Yeah, Sam
yeah,
just did it.
she
Oh, okay.
yeah she sits down, and but there's a mod that that one of the syndicates has that allows you to move with that ability. You're slow, but you can move with that ability active. And it's great when you need to revive someone.
The operative has just made their first
Yeah, because you're
If,
basically just converting all of that damage you're taking into an explosive energy while you're reviving. Fucking great.
See.
And you're also not stationary, because a lot of times when you're doing that, there's other people around that kill everything else.
Yeah.
You stop absorbing all that damage.
All right, let me get closer to Twisted.
Life support incoming.
Oh, we can leave, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we could bounce.
So
I'm
you only
good.
have to do the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ragdoll, bitches, ragdoll.
My cat's health when I'm in Naros is 9,000.
Another life support capsule is now available.
I've done these up to fucking 20, right? But it gets way annoying. And the dudes go up so high, and the heavy gunners almost nearly impossible if you don't have corrosive and radiation and all that.
The longest survival I've done was, I think, an hour and 15.
Yeah, I think, Bill, you and I did something like that. Like, you, me...
Yeah, we were with
Chess,
Chess and somebody else. We did it for a while.
but it was one of the early survivals.
Another job well executed.
Yeah, I saw that, Brian. It's like a side... it's like a side cool, they call it. Like, it's not a sequel, it's not a prequel, it's a sidequel.
A side qual.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Brian's talking about shock treatment, where it's like kind of the same as Rocky Horror or something. It's weird.
Oh, Shock Treatment. Is that a movie you're talking about?
It's made by the same guy who made Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, yeah. Was it supposed to be a sequel to it?
Yeah, but they say it's not a sequel. That's what's weird.
Oh. Alright. So, let's see here. Chains of Harrow.
And that might be a
the
solo
one.
quest. I don't remember.
Yeah, they typically tend to be, I think. This is the one that you guys said really sucks, right?
No, the ones that suck is where you have to go and because there are the single missions, and then they give you side missions where you have to go farm that piece. And one of the farm spots is you have to rescue a bunch of dudes and bring them to the ship without them dying. I think that was the last
God.
part I was on.
Escort missions are the worst.
They're the worst in every game.
That's 2 characters I have to get up Ash and Ash Prime.
Yeah, I sold that Marelock, but the I need 30,000 points to get another one. Let me see if I have enough. These stupid syndicate
Cephalon
things.
Suda doesn't like me, nor does the Perrin sequence. The Red Veil.
The one I'm closest to is the new Loka. I think I was trying to go for the Sancti Tigress. And I wasn't that far off.
I'm almost out of neutral.
Where is
Arbiters of Hexus, I am a fraud.
Yeah, Sancti Tigress. I needed to get up to the... I think it was the next level. Which... Yeah, they start getting expensive and they want specific shit, which is annoying. I need pure and then I'll be on flawless. Everybody else I'm like, the other 3 I'm negative in. But the ones, the Red Veil and the Sequence are my friends.
You know,
Do you guys do syndicate missions?
I do. Yeah.
Do you pick up those little things? There's 8 of them per mission, usually.
Yeah, the little things you scan. I don't usually, like, if I find them, I'll scan them, but I don't really spend time going looking for them, really.
well,
I just don't know where they are in the inventory. Oh, there they are. All right, let me just see how many I have here.
I gotta admit,
Typically, you'd sell them at the...
Yeah, I Defenders.
Do I have?
3 generals.
Oh wow, they changed the whole inventory screen.
Everything,
It's a pain in the ass. So 3,000, and then I can turn in my Red Veil stuff too.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
think I
worry
can
about it, man. I mean, it's all good if you can. It's fine.
Well, you know
It's
what,
not
if you-
like it's holding back.
If you friend me, I'll probably have enough points by the end of the weekend and grab one
How
for
do
you.
I have 190
I hope I
platinum?
invite. It doesn't bother me any.
Have you?
You have
who
190
knows?
platinum.
That's what it looks like. That's the second one, right? The first one's your credits. And then what's the next
Yeah,
one?
second one's your
How do
platinum.
I have 190 platinum?
Yeah, that weird. Are you saying why do you only have, or why
Why
do you
do
have?
I have? I don't remember ever buying any.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, you got 190 platinum though.
Yeah, so I can open up some Warframe slots. That's a good thing. Okay, weapons, sentinel, appearance. Wow, this is completely different. Keys, I have a clan key. And that's it. Boy, I have a bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was working on Chromie. Got what I needed to.
Alright, so apparently I have 2 of the Paris Prime pieces. 1 Odonta Prime blueprint, the systems. I guess I need wings or something for that. I have a Boltor Prime stock and a Latron Prime stock. An Ankyros Prime blueprint and a Rhino Prime systems blueprint.
The Ankyros and the Rhinos, they're vaulted. If you need the rest of your Paris, just let me know. I have plenty of parts.
Oh shit, I can actually do. Oh, okay, cool. Wait, who's vaulted now?
Rhino and his fists, the Ankyros or whatever that is. Those are his fists.
It's a good thing I actually. Wow. I just realized I have Trinity Prime right here.
Yeah,
I just had to build her.
didn't you get her for free?
Yeah. I also had every material to build her too.
Oh.
I have Valkyrie Prime. I just have to get all the stuff for all the pieces, and then I'll have her done. I have Voberon Prime. I have a bunch of the primes.
Yeah, I just put on Trinity Prime.
Just waiting to be built.
She looks awesome.
What prime?
You're a healer.
Okay.
How many? What pieces do you need?
Oh no, I have all of Trinity. I got her for free with
Oh,
my
okay.
Twitch
Yeah,
Prime.
same.
Oh, I got you.
But she's fucking badass.
Well, what Paris parts do you
Oh,
want?
I don't even know what I need.
It needs five. It needs 5 different
Oh, I only
pieces,
have
and then
2.
you need. I have the rest, so just let me know what you need.
Oh, I will say this: if anybody goes after Equinox, Godspeed, brother, because you're gonna need it. That
Oh,
is
really?
a long farm quest to get Equinox.
Yeah, I don't really play this game
Ivara
enough,
is
John,
worse.
to warrant like having to give me stuff for it.
That's your birthday, man. Plus, I mean, this is what I do when I run Void. I run like the max I'll have of anything is 4. Once I have more than 4, I sell it to for the points that guy Borrow. I have every single thing that Borrow offered. So I don't really need these anymore, and I don't have the patience to stay in trade chat. So if anything you need, just let me know.
I'll tell you what I got. I have the Paris Prime lower and upper limbs. That's what I have.
All right, so you need a grip, you need the blueprint, and you need the string, and I have them. So let me know whenever you want to go. I don't know if Bill has to do his solo. If he does, then we can just go to my dojo and I'll just trade them to you.
Yeah, you can do it if you want, Sam.
All right. What's do you have a solo thing you have to do, Bill?
Yeah, the mission is solo.
I guess while you're doing that, I will leave the squad real quick. How do I do that? Uncle Thursday. Okay, I'm gonna leave the squad for a minute.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
And then John, yeah, the way they've redone these menus, I'm like, how do I do anything anymore?
It's weird. I mean, it's a little bit better, I think, but it's got to learn it.
And then go ahead and invite.
I just wonder how this game's gonna translate for the Switch.
Yeah, it's coming out for the Switch. I'm like, what? Like, this is a really graphically intensive game. And always has been. Bill and I are on the X. So I don't think we suffer from the slowdown that used to plague the original Xbox. But, like, on the Switch...
Well, they're probably going to turn off a lot of, like, lighting and all the little graphical stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of stuff they could turn off. You know, a lot of ambient stuff, grass, whatever.
Well, that new zone, I have the X too. That new zone's gonna look nice on the X.
I'm excited.
Do you have the X, Josh, or are you just still running a regular Xbox?
No, I got the Scorpio. I pre-ordered it.
Nice.
Yep, still, I have an X2, so all of us are running X's.
Oh my god.
So it works.
Oh wow.
This is
Wow, look at
creepy.
John's dojo.
This Chains of Hyrule thing. Super
He's got
fucking creepy.
Statues everywhere and flags.
Really? I gotta check out John's dojo. I gotta see if I can steal shit from. Hey John, do you have any Nakana? Was there a Nakana Prime or what the fuck was it? Was it a Nakana Prime? I remember. I don't think it was a Prime.
Yeah, Nakana Prime. Hold on one second. I gotta check.
That's fine. Do your thing.
I might turn my air conditioner back on when I go to bed. Just so it's nice and
Yeah,
comfortable in here.
yeah, I probably have Nakana parts. Is Sammy
Yeah,
here?
I'm in your
Yeah.
dojo. I'm checking out your statues. You got like blue lighting everywhere. Oh, is that your vault right there?
I don't know where you are because I'm in the trade menu here. I can't figure out how to trade with you.
No, I'm right next to you.
I found it.
Yeah, it says X trade. Oh, there you go. This is they changed this freaking thing. All right, so just put up something stupid like ammo drum or something like that.
How about
You said you had upper and lower.
There you go. Oh, hold on. No, wait. I already have that. That's apparently attached to something.
Oh man, you can't get it. It's mastery locked.
Oh, yeah, no, my mastery is so
man.
low, you don't even know.
You can't even give stuff to people that you can hold on to it till later.
Nope. Mastery lock
bummer.
fucks you even if you're low level. Trust me, there was a few things I had to wait for to get.
It's funny they changed the mastery in some things because I have the Opticore or the infinite beam rifle, and not infinite ammo, just shoots infinitely, and they changed like a 10 or 11 I think, and they changed it to a 12, and I got it before that, so I got it before I actually got locked out.
Was he talking about the Quana?
Is it the Quana? It's the big silver beam rifle. It's like the
Does it
the
shoot
Spartan
two beams?
laser. Nah, just one big beam.
Oh, then yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's called the
I forget which one it
Opticore.
is.
I think it's called the Opticore.
Yeah, the Opticore is it fires slow, right?
Yeah, it charges up first.
Yeah, that's the Opticore.
Yeah,
So this is what the
they
Trinity
moved
Prime
the
looks like.
mastery rank level for that up.
If you want to check,
What's that?
this is what Trinity Prime looks like. If you want to check her out.
Oh yeah, I have her. I made mine look like she's red and white, so it's like a nurse.
Ah.
I'm just seeing if I need to contribute anything to any of this. We have everything pretty much researched, but when they put new stuff in here, I don't. No one tells me, so I gotta look.
Oh, like for your dojo research stuff.
Yeah, because I usually just start everything. Our leader doesn't really play, so it's like I'm like the de facto leader.
Yeah, I've started. I got a bunch of stuff in the dojo being researched right now.
I do think she looks neat though.
Yeah, I don't really don't have her modded out well, so I never really use her.
Yeah, if I'm gonna get back into this game, I gotta really start like putting mods together, and I need Forma.
Yeah, you need to take some time.
Because I need to Forma the shit out of some of my stuff.
You could buy.
I'm at like a.
I have.
Oh, what am I?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm at like 98% on one of these achievements to like max out a formed weapon, and I'm like, I don't know which one's max done, or is that one of the bugged ones?
I couldn't tell you, but I mean, I have I think I have 3 weapons that I have 8 formas on.
Jesus. Here, let me look.
And one of them is what you were using earlier, the Dex Sabaris. That has 8 forma. My Quana Vandal has 8 forma.
You see this one? It's called Polarized at reach rank 30 with a polarized weapon, companion, or warframe. And it's a rare achievement.
So he's got to throw. I think he's got to throw one forma on something, then just get it back to 30.
Yeah, but it says I'm already at 98%.
There might have been a weapon that you kind of got rid of. Like anything you get, even if you don't like it, just max it out before you get rid of it, because it helps with your mastery rank.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to toss anything before you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, if you're going to increase your mastery rank, you want to bring a whole new frame, all weapons that haven't even been touched yet. Once you max them out, don't touch those weapons, unless it's a weapon that's like, it's one of the best weapons in that class. Then I would say keep it. But otherwise than that, if you don't have no need for it, just get rid of it.
Or just a weapon that you enjoy, like like a Quana Vandal is actually my most used weapon. And if I'm playing solo, it's great. But when I'm playing with other people, like they'll kill things before I do. So like it.
See,
that's the same. I like using the bows.
Like, how do I know what's been formed already? It'll have that one slot open.
Top right.
Yeah, it'll indicate it.
Yeah,
has a little star.
Yeah, one in like a half circle. You'll see a one, half circle, and a star on the bottom.
Okay, so my Excalibur is formed and is max rank. So why am I think this might be an achievement that's bugged. Which is why...
Or just wait until you do a weapon this time. Don't... I think it may be fucking up because of the frame itself. But...
Okay, so...
Just do up a weapon.
Because I'm looking at it. So, okay, so I've got Nyx. It has like a wing symbol. And so does Oberon. I'm not sure what that means. So let me see my weapons. So... None of my weapons appear to be formed. Now, was it Forma that disappeared, or was it something else that disappeared after so long?
That's the
Argon
crystals.
crystals.
The argon crystals. They disappear after like 48 hours or something like that.
Okay, so
The form is just a one shot. Like you use it and it's gone.
okay, now where would that be under in your
You'd have to
in your inventory?
miscellaneous. It'd be under miscellaneous if you want to build it, but it should also tell you how many you own under the build. If you don't have any blueprints, it's not going to show up.
All right, let me look.
I need to get my dread back up to max.
Get your what? Dread?
Dread. Yeah. Out of all the bows that I tried, even the faction bows, they don't stand up to the dread in my eyes. I've hit for 30,000 a crit, and that was red crit. So, everything else I've seen is if bows go, yeah, you can use different bows for different people, but I think the dread hits the hardest and most consistent.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have any Forma right now. I'm assuming... Oh, no, I do. I have one Forma.
Now, here's my advice. Put a Forma on something that you thoroughly enjoy that you're not going to get rid of, because otherwise it's a waste.
Yep.
Okay, so... Let's not put it on a war.
Like my
And
original
also-
Quana, I had 5 Forma on my original Quana, but I had to get rid of it because I got the Quana Vandal. And then I ended up putting 8 Forma on that. But, you know, so basically I wasted 5 Forma. I'm also building, I have 22 Forma now. I have 1 building. They take 24 hours to build. So anytime you run Void and it drops stuff that you don't really want or need, and there's a Forma there, grab that blueprint and just constantly build Formas.
One of the worst things is that I need to do is I need to have at least 3 other people with me, and I want to go run the derelict vault, and I need all the keys there.
I'd love to do
Because-
that. I don't have all the keys though. Because don't you have to take people with you? Like,
There's 4
because
keys,
different people have to
and
carry
each
different
person.
keys, right?
Yeah, all 3 of us carry one of the different keys. I would say the one that gives you the crippling health, I'm giving it to, what was it, Marine? Yeah, I'm giving it to Marine on that one. He can take that key. He can go under with 6,000 health.
Alright, well, let me see. So my...
Yeah, then you can get somebody. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just looking at my weapons, and then I'll tell you guys what I have, and then you can mention which one would be a good thing to Forma up. Because I don't have a lot of weapons.
No, I was just gonna say you could take like Loki, Nezha, any of the faster frames, and they can get the speed key. Like you just and then you can do the Rhino could also take the health key with this overshield, or Iron Skin. There's ways to kind of beat the system. You just got to remember to take the key off if you did not open the vault. Well, go ahead, Sammy. I'm sorry.
So I have a Brayton, a Cernos, a Karak, a Dragoon, Dexibaris, a Penta. They're all maxed for my main weapons.
My advice would be to put the Forma on the Dex. But that's
The Dexibaris. Yeah, I think I was using that earlier. Let me see.
Yeah, you were. I was watching you on stream.
Okay. So now, how do I...
Honestly, again,
I have 8 Forma on the Dex. I forgot. Yeah.
is it maxed out or no?
It says it's max, yeah.
Alright, so basically you're going to go into upgrade, and then I think it's, is it Y or is it...
It's the
I would
right,
have to...
the right thumbstick. You got to click down.
Oh, again, they changed that again? Or is that always the same?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, it was
Add or
different.
modify the polarity of a slot. Is that it?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you'll want to put like a Serration. you should have Serration. That's a Y. I don't remember what the Dex came with. I'm assuming it came with nothing.
Okay, hold on. Let me
But
see.
you'll
This was a
need
freebie, right? They gave them away.
Yeah, okay.
right, but I don't know if it came with any polarized
Okay.
slots.
No, my Serration is not currently polarized. So, all right. So, I want to add that little Y-looking thing, right?
Right, add the Y, and it's going to take it back to 0.
Right.
Every time you form it, it takes it back to 0.
Hmm.
Okay, polarity operation completed successfully. So now I have
Primes all enemies in the radius. Oh,
I
okay.
have a Serration in there. Okay, and it got rid of a bunch of my other stuff because now it can't hold it. It doesn't have enough. But so
right.
now my Serration
And-
currently only has
and
5 that it needs. And then I have an ammo drum and fast hands. That works.
I'll tell you how I have mine built. I don't know if you have these mods. I have Serration, Split Chamber, Vigilante Armaments, Point Strike, Critical Delay, Hammer Shot, Hunter Munitions, and then I have a Ribbon for it.
Yeah, I don't have some of those. That's for damn sure. So I have ammo drum. Oh wait, why did that?
And you know you can rank up your mods too, right?
Yes. Why can I not?
Okay.
Yeah, they changed that. They made that a lot easier now, Sam, to level up your mods or rank them up.
So.
Made it way easier. Now you just use endo. You don't have to use all that transmutation shit.
Okay, so I have what were you saying you had?
Split Chamber, which is multi-shot.
I do not have that.
That's great. I put that on everything.
I also have Vigilante Armaments, which is also multi-shot.
Nope, don't have that.
What's that one do? I don't know that one.
It's a multi-shot. You get it from Earth.
Hmm.
It also has a 5% chance, because I don't run any other Vigilante Armaments, Vigilante mods. It has a 5% chance to enhance critical hits.
Oh, nice.
See, the way I have the way I have this built, my crit chance is 104.3%. My status chance is 50.4%. So like this was my OP weapon for a while.
Oh no. What was the weapon?
The Dexabarus.
Oh, the Dexabarus. Okay.
Okay, so I have 7 points left that I can put into this thing.
Oh, that's the other thing. You go back into your right-click thumbstick and see if you have a working catalyst on there.
It says it's installed.
All right. So then you just need to rank it up, and then you'll be able to put more mods on.
Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to look. Like I have a 5-dot Serration in there right now. I have a 1-dot ammo drum. I don't know what else I have. Magazine warp. What is this? 10% magazine capacity. Rifle aptitude. That's not going to work too much if I don't have anything that causes status, so never mind. I have Stormbringer, Speed Trigger, Rupture, Sawtooth Clip, Rifle Aptitude, Point Strike, Ammo Mutation, Piercing Hit, Magazine Warp, including a broken magazine warp, Infected Clip, Hush. What the hell is that? Reduce the chance an enemy will hear gunfire. Oh, isn't that neat? Fast Hands, Hellfire, Eagle Eye, Bane of Infested, Cryo Rounds, and that's it. And Ammo Drum.
Well, I can give you Vigilante Armaments. It's another multi-shot. I don't know if I have another split chamber. Let me just see.
Remember, he only has certain amount of trades unless they change that because of his rank too.
Yeah, he
So
should have six trades. I don't think he traded today.
No, I didn't. I can't.
I think
see
that's
that
what
from
came
here.
up on the screen. Yeah, I have extra split chamber and extra vigilante armaments. Now here's the thing, split chamber is another Y polarity, and it starts at no rank at 10. So it's gonna require another forma more than likely. It depends on how you want to do your build.
Yeah.
I built mine with heavy crit, like medium status. Now I ran this like probably like a year ago, so I don't know. I might have to change it up if I want to have it be viable after the game updates and what have you. But
You know what? I'll just go with.
Oh yeah,
I have
Railjack.
a 1 point strike. I'll put in there for now. I mean, that'll be enough to get some XP with it.
trust me, multi-shot it may look intimidating, but it is well worth it.
Oh my god, yeah, practically doubles your damage output.
Yeah, it makes a tremendous difference with a lot of the guns.
and then you can do a hybrid build too. Like I have my Latron Wraith running 65% crit, 57% status, like a complete hybrid build. I run a corrosive because I usually run corrosive. That's the other thing with your status mods. You know, like your high voltage, malignant force, so on and so forth. When you combine those elements, it changes the damage type.
Right. Yes, I've seen that.
And,
They have to be next to each other, right?
No, it's all in sequence. The top row is 1 through 4. The bottom row is 5 through 8. So
I think
where
used
as
to
long
be
as they're
next
they're
to
in
each other.
sequence.
It used to be next to each other. I think, yeah. When it first opened.
Yeah, because sometimes what you're gonna have to do is change your location of your polarities to make certain things jive.
I got you. No, you know what? I'll be all right. I'll just use this config A because, like I said, I'm not playing enough to really warrant getting extra. You know what? I'm not using Excalibur. Excalibur is weak for me. Or is it because I don't have any upgrades on it? No, I do. Alright, let me...
Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to see if I can get you that mod too. Let's see. It is called Assimilate.
Ah, I thought I could cheese it. Ah, that would have been so nice.
We're gonna try and do.
I'm running and ranking up. I think it's Nova, and I wanted to do the wormhole to see if I can breach into the spy mission A, and I ran right into the wall. I thought it would be able to teleport me through the window. Definitely would have been a nice just speed run turn.
What is that? Steel charge. Melee weapon damage increased. Okay, so that's my aura. So, in order... How do you unlock the second aura?
Oh, it's Exilus slot. You need an Exilus adapter, and you get one free when you do the quest. I think it's a Samaris quest. He gives you one, I think. They also drop with alerts every now and then, and
Yeah.
Okay, so... Because I still have...
5,000 XP. What? Still a few mods that I need to get. I still need to get the high caliber. I've seen mixed stuff about it though.
certain weapons, it's like I use it on the Opticore. Certain weapons, the accuracy debuff doesn't really affect, like Quana. A lot of your hit scan weapons, it doesn't really bother too much. But like you don't want to put it on a sniper because you'll aim for the head and it'll go somewhere else.
You know, I thought I had a lot more mods than I did. You know what? Maybe I used to, and I turned them all into Vitality. Well,
You may have. I remember at one point you were doing that stuff.
yeah, but you know what? I was just using the same mods on everything. Like I would only do it if I had duplicates. I wasn't trying to like use other mods on something else.
Right.
I thought at one point I had a lot, but I do have like a max rank diamond skin.
Some of those duplicates you want to hold on to because, you know, especially the weapon ones, like when you start running Sentinels, because, you know, you can't have, you need two of the same mod if you're going to run this, like a rifle as a Warframe and you're going to have a rifle as your Sentinel weapon. They can't use the same mod.
True, very true.
But they're nicer now. They show you in your mods like what ones can't be used. They used to not do that, and now they show you which ones are kind of like used, which is nice. Nice little visual indicator now.
I don't like Nova. She's not that good.
Who?
Nova.
I don't think I even have her.
Yeah, my only frames that I have are Excalibur, which is what I started with. I have a Frost Prime, which I got for free. I have Necros, which Bill gifted me. I have a Nyx that I built. I have an Oberon that I built. And then I have Trinity Prime that I got for free. Like, literally, those are my only frames.
Oh, now I feel like a big dork.
Yeah, you have everybody.
Yeah, but I also haven't played in
It's all good.
I haven't seriously played this game in years. So
I have 2 Ash Primes because they just gave me one for whatever reason.
There was one for watching a stream. If you watch a stream or if you watch Twitch, you get Ash Prime.
Well, no, what happened was if you watched it,
different?
they had a problem with. No, it was originally the plan, but because so many people watched it, there was like a problem. So, and there was no way for them to like track it. So I said, "Fuck it." Anybody who logged in like within the previous 24 hours from the Twitch stream just got it.
no, well,
Which sucks because I didn't actually log in, but I watched the stream. So, but I didn't log in, so I don't get it.
Wasn't that generous?
Yeah, I wish they gave
Yeah, so
me the parts because I would have just like sold it or gave it away. Now I just have. I guess I can play. Well, one has a formal on it. The other one is just rank 0.
I actually.
I'm actually due for a mastery rank test. I just got to figure out what it is.
I'm due for one. Now
Practice.
Too. I actually like listening to the little.
Put me up to
dudes.
level 12.
Like when you're in your ship, hearing the dudes on your scanner, I actually like listening to them sometimes.
This Chains of Horror thing is kind of like a horror mission. All
Yeah,
creepy and
it's
shit.
pretty cool.
Oh, that sucks. Ran into a shield thing. No, they're gonna take the data. Not really.
It's like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Warframes.
All right, gents, I'm gonna head off because I got a 7:30 class at the gym tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
I gotta
Thanks for.
head off too.
Well, now we got the. That's cool. I'm running the solo mission. I'm gonna go to bed, but let's keep going, man. I'm all about it. I'm back in the Warframe.
Yeah, man. Whenever you guys, just send me a message. Sometimes I'm on, but I'm not like here. Like I'm in the kitchen or doing laundry
Yeah,
or whatever. So.
sometimes, and for some reason, the way the Xbox works, even though my wife is on her account, it still shows me as on. So it's not me sometimes, even though it looks like it is.
Yeah,
She doesn't
just,
have her own Xbox Live account. She's on my live account with her like
Yeah,
login.
that's how Joe's is. Like, not that he's ever over here anymore, but it would do the same thing. I think it would. I think it's because you're the master account that it still shows you on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I heard, that Bill told his wife all the time, that he's the master, you know.
I'm the master. Master and servant.
Depeche Mode.
And Twisted, send me a message on Sunday. I should have enough points to get that weapon.
Oh, really? I have.
And if not, I can just run a bunch of Syndicate missions, so...
I have enough to make a Volt Storm helmet. I have no idea what I have that for, or how I got that.
You probably got it from an alert, but if you don't have Volt, there's no reason to build it.
Yeah, because it's just a different helmet for it. I'm just looking what I have, like, as far as like what I could build. I could build. It's weird. I have the Rhino chassis blueprint, and I have the Rhino Prime systems blueprint. So it's like, well, they don't go together.
Yeah, I know how you got it. You got it because you probably ran the Void when you first started playing, or somebody, like, you know, you were hopped on with somebody. It dropped and you picked it up, because that's how I got my Rhino.
I think that's how I got the Prime one. I'm pretty sure.
You got the receiver for Banshee's Prime signature shotgun?
Oh, I don't. Definitely.
No, it's just a Marine.
What's it called?
Empany Prime? I can't pronounce it.
Is that the new one?
It's the shotgun. It's Banshee's, I think Banshee Prime shotgun. Or pistol. Or side pistol.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I should have all the pieces for that. I just gotta find it.
I just need a receiver. That's the only piece I was ever missing. And I think, isn't it... Which, is it 14
Euphonia or
or
something
which...
like that?
Yeah.
I love how I have...
Yeah, I have 2 receivers.
I've had forever 2 of the 3 pieces of Ember. Like, I have the systems and the neuroptics. I don't have the chassis. Blueprint.
That mission's easy to farm if you ever want to do it.
I also have a Hydroid neuroptics blueprint. Loki Enigma helmet. Mesa Longhorn helmet. Mag systems. Nova Flux. Jesus, Necros Rankus helmet. I actually have a lot more stuff than I thought I did. Nyx. Oh, I still have the blueprints left for all of my Nyx. I'm like, I own a Nyx. Never mind. Same thing with Oberon. I have all the Oberon blueprints.
Oh, I'm just at the right rank for it, too. Okay.
Are you in the mission right now?
Nope. Go ahead and throw me in.
And what is it? You could spend platinum to lower the build time, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally not worth it.
Oh, no.
I did that by accident.
I only did it for frames. Like, certain frames I did it for just to speed them up because I wanted to play with them. That's it.
Yeah, I've done that. But most of the time, you know, like weapons and helmets and shit, you just kind of let it run overnight.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like, it's like, if you want to build the frame, each piece takes 12 hours. It's like, you might as well just fucking do it when you're going to bed.
I mean, I've honestly spent maybe close to $1,000 on this game.
I might have bought that platinum. That might be the only
over the
platinum I've
years.
ever bought.
Yeah. Oh, but I totally feel justified in doing it because I'm supporting Visual Extremes. I'd much rather put the time and the money into a game like this than buying another fucking sequel of another fucking shooter.
Yeah. And again, like we said, you know, they constantly update this game. I mean, they're at a point now where they could have made like a 2. You know what I mean? Like a sequel. But instead, they're just like, nope, we're just going to keep improving this one.
Ooh, I've got enough. Now I've got 2 argon crystals. I can build the Atomos.
I just
Oh man, you're gonna love that.
I think I will build that.
So, all right, gentlemen,
And then you need
have to put tires on my car in the morning, so I'm gonna head to bed.
I have the blueprint and everything. I have the blueprint and the other piece. I just needed the receiver.
So,
I think as of weapons go. What?
Bill, you're gonna need Ruinous Extension for the Atomos. It increases the range. The stat on it is real low, but the effect is phenomenal.
Is it?
All right. If I have an extra one, I'll get it too.
so.
Yeah, I don't think I have a Ruinous Extension. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check my mods.
See if I can.
All right, gentlemen, I will talk to you guys later. For those of you in the stream, thank you for watching. And I'm going to end the stream now so I can go to bed.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
And thanks for those of you who stuck around during the
Good night, everybody.
Gaming portion of our show before we started watching me die left and right. So, later.
All right, peeps. Ciao.
Good night, everybody.